subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
A human being from the northern galaxy can be directly transmitted to the planet of Supreme Kai. This kind of thing is simply unheard of, and they have never thought of such an outrageous thing. Wow, Goten is too powerful. You can feel his aura here. Sensing the extremely powerful aura of Son Goten, Son Goku said excitedly, "Oh my god! What's going on with Goten? This aura is so strong, it's unbelievable." Son Gohan was so surprised that his mouth opened wide. You must know that each of them is a very talented Saiyan fighter. But now compared with Goten, it is nothing compared to the Big Witch, and there is no comparison at all. There should be a limit to joking around. It's okay to be better than us, but this stinky brat is a bit too perverted. Vegeta felt that he had been PD off at this moment, especially after seeing the Trunks beside him. He wished to slap him directly and faint. They are also mixed-race Saiyan warriors, and their blood is more noble than Kakarot's. But Kakarot-san has become so powerful, but Trunks still stays in the form of Super Saiyan. More importantly, among this group of people, Trunks is the weakest. Thinking of the gap between his son and Kakarot's son, Vegeta became even more furious. That boy Goten is really a monstrous existence. I really can't figure out how he trained to be able to improve to this level in less than 10 years. Piccolo was equally astonished. In fact, in the past few years, they have also been paying attention to the movement of the Earth. However, in the past few years, Goten didn't seem to have shown too much prominence except for his tenacity. And there is nothing special about training. But why is it becoming so powerful now? I feel that I have widened the gap with all of them. That kid, what's happened to him? Dad, Uncle Piccolo, why is the breath around Goten's body turned green now? The arrogance of this color seems to be exactly the same as the arrogance around Broly's body back then. At this moment, Son Gohan asked suspiciously. Goten has transformed countless times before, but their transformations are all the same. Golden hair and golden arrogance. But at this moment, what Goten released was grass-green arrogance. This kind of gas is almost exactly the same as that of Broly in Southern Galaxy. This is so strange. I'm not so sure either. When I changed my voice before, the key released by Goten is the same as ours. Son Goku shook his head. He didn't know what was going on. Maybe this is Goten's whole card. When the key is not reached, it is not so easy to display it easily. Could it have something to do with Broly's last fight? Piccolo asked with some uncertainty. Because Goten really didn't release this green aura before fighting Broly. Kakarot, don't you understand? You are a low-level Saiyan warrior, but your son has the legendary Super Saiyan bloodline. Hey, Vegeta smiled happily, and then showed a smug smile. Son Goku looked confused, not knowing what Vegeta wanted to express. Halfway through talking, I hate this kind of person the most. And just when everyone on King Kai was extremely surprised, Son Goten has completed his transformation at this time. Russell, the grass-green arrogance around the body surged crazily like a flame. At this time, his anger also reached an unprecedented height. This is countless times stronger than when he first became Chuanchao Saiyan. Obviously, this has a lot to do with the old Supreme Kai helping to develop his potential. Oh my god, it's unbelievable. Is this really Goten? Clint asked suspiciously. This kid seems to be different from the Goten I know. After transforming into the legendary Super Saiyan form, Son Goten's height directly reached 1.8 meters. The body is covered with solid tendon meat. Her grass-green hair was dancing with the wind, and the flames around her body were surging like a boiling Wang-yang. Russell, the flames kept flapping the air, making a crisp sound. A pair of golden pupils are full of confidence and unruly. Babble? Whoa! Majin Buu and Xian Yinbo looked at Son Goten, who had suddenly changed dramatically, with expressions of surprise and fear on their faces. Then his expression immediately became serious. Even if he is irrational, he can instinctively feel the strength and fear of his opponent. Majin Buu, Xian Yinbo, what are you two still hesitating about? Hurry up and kill that stinky brat. Seeing that something was obviously wrong, the magician Babidi immediately yelled loudly at Majin Buu and Xian Yinbua. He has completely controlled Xian Yinbua, so he can naturally know the origin of Xian Yinbua and his name. His intuition told him that the kid in front of him was very terrifying, because now his heart is very disturbed, which is a feeling he has never felt before. Chi-Chi. Yeah, at this time, Majin Buu and Xian Yinbua also became angry, obviously, because of the fear in their hearts. The two screamed, baring their teeth, and rushed towards Son Goten again. Now, I can't let you mess around. The corner of Son Goten's mouth raised, and he disappeared in place in an instant. Before the two of them could react, Son Goten directly pinched their heads with both hands. Then he pressed heavily into the hard ground. Rumble! The shocking deep hit spread instantly. Boom! Two more energy waves exploded from the palms, and the bodies of Majin Buu and Xian Yinbua were instantly shattered. Puddles of meat paste are like little pink bugs, wriggling nonstop. At the same time, Xian Yinbua's body reorganized from behind Son Goten again. However, cracks had already appeared on his body at this time, and it was obvious that he had been seriously injured by the explosion just now. Yeah, there was another sharp roar. The moment Xian Yinbua launched a sneak attack, Son Goten turned around suddenly, and suddenly squeezed out a silver-white energy in his hand. Then stick it on Xian Yinbua's chest. Go back to your hell. This is not a place where you can come and make trouble. At the same time as the extremely cold voice fell, the energy ball also exploded. Boom! After a low explosion sounded, Xian Yinbua's body was instantly swallowed by the energy wave. Like a candle in the wind, go with the wind. At the same time, the breath of the evil thought wave has completely disappeared. 053 completely eliminate the evil Slender Buu. Everything comes to an end, seeking Flower's evaluation tickets. On the other side, those pink pieces of meat on the ground have been reorganized and turned into the appearance of Fat Buu. A pair of small eyes directly narrowed into two crescents, emitting a scarlet light. Woo 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 along with the sound of steam from the pressure cooker. A lot of steam came out of Majin Buu's head. A large amount of white steam was rapidly condensing, and soon, a white cloud of steam appeared above the head. And that group of clouds seemed to have life, and began to squirm crazily like a ball of mud. It looked more like a cloud of white venom. While wriggling, the white clouds quickly transformed into the shape of a person. Then, what's going on? Clint watched this scene in surprise. Why does the steam ejected from Majin Buu's body change into a human shape? These guys are all weirder and scarier than the other. Both Supreme Kai and Jebbit shook their heads because they didn't know what was going on either. But between everyone's surprise and doubt, the white cloud has completely turned into a person. It looks similar to Majin Buu, but there is a huge difference in body shape and skin color. The newly formed guy had dark skin and was bony. There is no trace of Fat Buu's kindness and incomparable evil in his eyes. This scene completely confused Kellen and Supreme Kai. Of course, the fat puppet looked at Skinny Buu with a puzzled expression. I'm waiting for you, Son Goten sneered, because he understands the situation better than anyone. When Fat Buu was extremely angry, the evil part of his body separated automatically, forming Skinny Buu. So the Fat Buu in front of him is kind now, but the Thin Buu is pure evil. Unlike the previous evil thoughts, there was no kindness in my heart. Completely consists of pure evil. The moment the voice fell, Son Goten's body flashed and appeared directly in front of Skinny Buu. Then a silver energy ball quickly condensed in the palm of his hand. Before Skinny Buu could react, the energy ball had already hit his forehead. You don't need to exist anymore. At the same time as the extremely indifferent voice fell, the energy wave blasted out directly. Yeah, Skinny Buu didn't react at all. Accompanied by a sharp roar, his body was swallowed by energy bit by bit. In the blink of an eye, it disappeared into nothingness. Although Majin Buu has extremely strong recovery ability, but if all his cells are destroyed in an instant with absolute power, then he can no longer be resurrected. At the same time, the system's electronically synthesized voice rang in his mind again. Ding! Congratulations to the host for picking up Majin Buu's super regeneration ability. Seems to be expected, so Son Goten did not show too excited. My Majin Buu! Impossible! How did that brat kill my Majin Buu in an instant? This is the magician Babidi has been completely dumbfounded. Originally thought that after Majin Buu recovered, he would be able to truly control the entire universe. But I didn't expect Majin Buu to break the seal in less than half an hour. This brat in front of me actually killed another Majin Buu. And the current Fat Buu is obviously not that guy's opponent, and it is very likely that he will end up in the same way. Demon King Beerus also stopped fighting a long time ago. At this moment, his whole body trembled with fear, because the little devil in front of him is really too powerful. They knew that that guy had the strength to kill them completely in an instant. At this moment, there is only one thought in their minds, and that is to leave this dangerous place as soon as possible. Intuition tells them that if they continue to stay here, there may only be a dead end. Lord Babidi, let's get out of here quickly. Majin Buu doesn't seem to be a match for that brat at all. If we stay here any longer, we will be killed. Demon Lord Dubra quickly lowered his voice and said to the magician Babidi, as long as they leave this place, they still have a chance to make a comeback in the future. But my Majin Buu, the magician Babidi looked hesitant. Just let Majin Buu break the seal? Are you going to abandon him now? But now there seems to be no other choice. Only when Majin Buu blocked them for a while could they escape successfully. All right, let's go. After struggling for a while, the magician Babidi finally made up his mind. It hurts a bit, but it's better than dying here. Then the two of them turned around and flew out in the opposite direction. Do you want to leave now? Where's such a good thing? Looking at the magician Babidi, who turned around and was about to run away, Son Goten said indifferently. Then an instant transmission appeared directly in front of the two of them. You, what do you want to do? Smelly brat, don't push yourself too far. The magician Babidi and the demon King Dubra were frightened for an instant. They knew very well that the strength of the two of them was like ants in front of this kid in front of them. There is no qualification to fight him at all. Me? Of course I'm sending you to hell. I think that place in hell may be more suitable for you bastards. Son Goten's tone was still very indifferent. Although these three guys are small roles, their strength is even more vulnerable. But if you leave them alone and let them escape to other places, maybe other planets will suffer too. After all, the Devil Dubra, if placed on other planets, can be regarded as a top-level existence. Smelly brat, stop being self-righteous. Don't think you have the ability to kill me. Demon King Beerus seemed to feel his dignity being trampled on. After speaking to Son Goten, he spit it out with a mouthful of saliva. In the eyes of others, this may be a rogue performance after a dog jumps over the wall. But Son Goten and Supreme Kai are very clear that this guy's saliva is different from ordinary saliva. As long as the body is touched, it will be petrified in an instant. Go watch out for Dubra's drool. Supreme Kai reminded immediately. It's just that his reminder is obviously superfluous. Dubra's saliva was directly vaporized before it touched the flames around Son Goten's body. Huh. Then Son Goten clenched his fists and burst into breath instantly. Immediately afterwards, the bodies of Dubra and the magician Babidi disintegrated instantly in the terrifying breath. It seems that my reminder is a bit redundant, Supreme Kai Asin said embarrassingly. Then he turned his gaze to Fat Buu. Now just get rid of Fat Buu and everything will be settled. 054 Son Goten. I believe Majin Buu will get better. Asking for flower evaluation votes. At this moment, Fat Buu looked puzzled, as if he lost his sense of direction all of a sudden. He fought Son Goten before because he was threatened by the order of the magician Babidi. If he doesn't fight, he will be sealed again by the magician Babidi. But now that Babidi has been killed, there is no need to obey any orders. And now Majin Buu's IQ is not very high, but he is very clear that the Son Goten in front of him is not something he can provoke. Once an attack on Son Goten is launched, it is very likely that it will be completely killed. This is the fear from the depths of the soul, which is the nature of living things. Even Majin Buu is no exception. It was he who was standing there now, with a look of bewilderment on his face. Whoosh! And at this time, Supreme Kai Asin flashed his body, and he was in front of Son Goten in an instant. Then he said, "Goten, hurry up and get rid of Majin Buu. After you get rid of this guy, everything will be calm." It would be a disaster for the entire universe if this guy were allowed to escape. It is not unreasonable for him to say this. After all, the picture of the Four Supreme Kai being killed and absorbed by Majin Buu is still vivid. This is a fear that goes deep into the soul. It is estimated that it will never be forgotten. No, I'm not going to kill him. The evil in Majin Buu's body has been destroyed by me just now, and he is not bad now. As long as he is properly guided, this guy will also become a warrior who protects the earth. Son Goten shook his head and said to Supreme Kai Asin, "The current Majin Buu is purely like a blank sheet of paper. If directed by an evil person, he will become evil again. Majin Buu will become kind if guided by someone with a kind heart. There are only two warriors on Earth, himself and Mr. Kellen. It would be nice if Majin Buu can also be a warrior to protect the Earth, because she can't stay on the Earth forever in the future. So the Earth needs such powerful warriors to protect. And if Majin Buu is on the Earth, it can also protect the safety of Mom and Aunt Bulma. What? Let Majin Buu protect the Earth." Supreme Kai Asin is obviously a bit difficult to understand. You must know that when this guy was just created, he directly turned hundreds of planets into Death Stars in one go. If you want this guy to protect the Earth, wouldn't you let the weasel look after the chickens? Lord Supreme Kai, I have my own plan. Even if Majin Buu is still evil, I have enough power to kill him. Son Goten said firmly. After all, in the original Dragon Ball Z, Majin Buu became a warrior protecting the Earth. Okay. Since you were so sure, then I believe you. Supreme Kai Asin could only nod his head. No way. To get rid of Majin Buu, Goten must be able to do it. If Goten is so confident now, he has nothing to say. Whoosh! At this time, Son Goten's body flashed and appeared directly in front of Majin Buu. "Buu, Babidi who controlled you has been taken care of by me. Now I give you two ways. Either become a warrior protecting the Earth, or be killed by me now." Son Goten said to Majin Buu calmly. Huh? Fat Buu was stunned. Apparently, he also understood what Son Goten meant. After all, there are Supreme Kai and South King Kai in his body. Chi-Chi. Then a smile appeared on his face. He chose the former. Although his IQ is not high now, but he also knew fear. Otherwise, he would not be threatened by Babidi. Very good. It looks like you are very smart. However, I still want to say something ugly. If you do anything harmful to the Earth, I will send you to hell without hesitation. Son Goten nodded first, and then said in a very serious tone, "Even now, Fat Buu is as pure as a piece of white paper. But he can't guarantee 100% that Fat Buu will be a good guy. So once he does anything that threatens the Earth, then I will completely remove him without hesitation." Majin Buu closed his eyes tightly and nodded with a smile. Obviously, he agreed to Son Goten's terms. Now in this situation, if you don't agree, there is only a dead end. Call? I don't know if this guy will get better. Although Supreme Kai Asin is still a little worried, he can only listen to Goten at this time. Then he walked up to Son Goten and said gratefully, "Goten, now that the crisis is over, Jebit and I are going back. Thank you very much for this incident. Without your help, the entire universe would be in a huge crisis." He said this from the heart, because whether it is Majin Buu or Xian Yinbua, without Goten's help, they can't solve it at all. It's all right, Supreme Kai. This matter is related to the safety of the Earth, so it's not like I'm helping you, Son Goten said with a laugh. Then directly exited the transformation of Chuanchao Scion. "Thank you anyway. Then there will be a time later." Supreme Kai also responded with a smile. After Jebit also greeted Son Goten, the two used the ability of instant transmission and returned directly to the Supreme Kai world. "Goten, is it really okay for this guy to stay on Earth?" Kellen also came over at this time, looked at Majin Buu, and asked a little worried. After all, this guy is too strong. Once out of control, it can cause fatal damage to the Earth. "No problem. I trust Majin Buu. Son Goten patted Majin Buu's shoulder lightly and said firmly. Fat Buu also seemed to be very grateful after seeing Son Goten's firm gaze. To be so believed by a human being, he really did not expect such a thing. Okay, I trust you. Let's go back first. Such a big movement happened on the Earth just now. I guess Chi-Chi and the others will be very worried. Of course, and your big girlfriend, Klein said with a smirk. In his opinion, that Videl must like Goten. The bald head's intuition told him that Goten would definitely get together with that Videl. Well, go back. Son Goten also nodded. Indeed, the movement of the Earth was too big just now, and my mother would worry if I didn't go back early. After all, that is his only relative in this world. After using instant transmission, several people returned to Baozi Mountain in a short time. 055 King Kai agrees Son Goku to return to Earth, Bulma's birthday party, asked for flower evaluation tickets, and at this time on the planet of the Great Realm King. Great! All problems finally solved. Goten boy is really too powerful. I can't help but want to compete with him. After seeing that all the problems were solved, Son Goku said very excitedly. As expected of his own son, while possessing super strength, his heart is still so kind. It didn't kill Majin Buu all the time. Instead, after eliminating the evil part of Majin Buu's body, the kind Majin Buu remains. Goten, I don't know what kind of training he has gone through to improve his strength to such a powerful level. Son Gohan still seems to be in a state of surprise. Each of these scions is considered a genius fighter, but compared with Goten, there seems to be a big gap. I like the kid Goten very much. He has super strength, but he is not influenced by strength. He still maintains a kind heart, which is very similar to the two of you. Piccolo glanced at Son Goku and Son Gohan and said with relief, he didn't kill the kind, Majin Buu, which is enough to show that Goten's heart is still kind, not being swayed by powerful forces. It is indeed not easy to maintain this kind of shinshing at this age. You must know that after gaining great strength at this age, it is easy for people to swell. I think for this, you should be most grateful to Goku's wife. Without his guidance, it would be impossible to teach such an excellent son. At this time, the Great Realm King also spoke. Only Vegeta said nothing, his face livid. Looking at Trunks staying beside him, I really wish I could kick him in the face. Scion, who are also mixed race, have the same age. And Trunks is a year older than Son Goten. But their strengths are vastly different. The kid Trunks is still a naive kid, but the kid Son Goten has matured like an adult. Hey! Suddenly, I really want to go back to Earth to see it. Son Goku smiled naively at this time and said to everyone. Before, he always felt that there is no need to continue resurrection after death. It is best to follow the laws of natural development. There is nothing to remember about what happened on Earth. But now Goten's appearance and Goten's powerful strength made his heart restless. Humph. Don't think I don't know what's going on in your heart, Carla. Don't you just want to fight Son Goten's kid? With all due respect, with your current strength, you can't even defeat that brat's normal state. Vegeta cast a cold glance at Son Goku and then exposed it mercilessly. Of course, what he said was true. That was indeed Son Goku's idea. If you want to return to Earth, you just want to feel the power of Goten. And he also knows that even if he becomes the form of Super Saiyan 3, he may not be able to beat Goten's normal state. After his thoughts were exposed, Son Goku could only smile awkwardly. Son, it's better not to be resurrected at this juncture. Before Chi-Chi and Bulma asked us to be resurrected, but we refused. And the reason for the choice is still so high-sounding. If you are resurrected now, Goten may not necessarily accept you. I know this from the fact that he didn't want to come to the underworld to help. Piccolo also said seriously from the side, if they couldn't be resurrected 8 years ago, then maybe Chi-Chi and Bulma wouldn't blame them. But 8 years ago, they clearly had the chance to be resurrected, but they rejected it. All crises of the planet are now resolved. And Goten has a super powerful ability to deal with any crisis. If you choose to resurrect at this time, it is indeed not very good. Hey, I'm just talking about it. Son Goten hastily smiled awkwardly. Goku, do you really want to visit Earth? Do you really want to fight Goten? At this moment, King Kai on the side suddenly spoke. He is also someone who knows Goku very well. If there is no way to fight Goten, this guy Goku will definitely not be reconciled. It just so happens that he has a way to make Goku realize this wish. Of course, Lord Kai, I do want to fight Goten. You know, when I meet such a super strong person, I will get uncontrollably excited. Son Goku immediately nodded firmly and said, "Then I have a solution." King Kai continued, What can I do, Mr. Wong? Hurry up and tell me." Son Goku immediately asked impatiently. And Vegeta and Piccolo on the side also stared straight at King Kai. I don't know what good way he has. Allows them to fight Goku and Goten without resurrecting them. You all died to save the Earth. You are the heroes who save the Earth. So according to the rules, I can give you a special day off and let you return to Earth for a day. After one day, you will have to come back here. Looking at the straight eyes of everyone, King Kai said seriously, "Of course, this is just a reason he made up indiscriminately. Goku is also considered his apprentice, so this is also a wish to help his apprentice. That's great. Thank you, Ko-sama." Son Goku hastily expressed his gratitude with excitement. Although I don't know if the reason just now is true, but he is very excited to be able to return to Earth and compete with Goten. Even one day is enough. Hey Kakarot, since we can only be in another day on Earth, let's choose half a month later. At this time, Vegeta suddenly spoke with a serious face. Why wait until half a month later? Vegeta, I can't wait now. Goku looked at Vegeta suspiciously and asked, "Is it a good day in half a month?" Cut. Because your current strength is too weak. Even in the past, you can't even beat Goten's normal state. Half a month is just enough time for you to train yourself well. I'm doing this for your own good. Vegeta snorted coldly and said to Son Goku. And this explanation made everyone present look in disbelief. Vegeta actually learned to think for Son Goku. This is really the first time for a big girl to get on the bridal sedan chair. But Piccolo didn't think Vegeta would be so caring. This guy chose to beg after half a month. He must have ulterior motives. Of course, Vegeta does have ideas of his own. As for thinking about Son Goku, that's just an excuse. Because half a month later, it happens to be Bulma's birthday. To be honest, I haven't seen Bulma for 8 years, and I will miss it more or less. Although he would not say such words, he would only bury them in his heart. But this kind of miss is only known to him. And Trunks is now 8 years old and hasn't been reunited with Bulma for as long as he can remember. Just in time for Bulma's birthday, let Trunks go to meet Bulma. All right, Vegeta is right. With my current strength, I can't even beat Goten's normal state. Why, it's just a good time to take advantage of this time to train hard and improve your strength. Son Goku doesn't care if what Vegeta said is true or not, but what he said does make sense. In the past now, he simply does not have the strength to fight Goten. Then in the next half month, he will train desperately. Hopefully, by then it will be able to catch up with the power of Goten's normality. That should be considered a hearty battle. At least for him, it is. Afterwards, they returned to King Kai's planet and began to train desperately. And this time on Earth, after Son Goten passed instant transmission, he arrived at the door of the house soon. But he didn't push the door open in a hurry, because he heard Videl having a heated conversation with Chi-Chi. Wow, you actually have 50 sweets in your house? Really, Videl? Your family is too rich. I suddenly feel that you and my Goten are a perfect match. You look so beautiful and delicate, and my family's Wutian is also very handsome and strong. The two of you are simply a golden boy and a jade girl, and you are really a perfect match. Believe me, there is no other man in this world who is worthy of you except my Goten. Chi-Chi's voice was unusually loud, and Son Goten and Kellen at the door could hear them clearly. See, Goten, I think exactly the same. I also think you two are a perfect match. Although Videl's strength is not very good, he is also very beautiful, right? And his family situation is really good, except for that unreliable father. After hearing Chi-Chi's voice, Krillin immediately added. From the moment they met, he felt that Tion and Videl were really a good match. The two of them are simply perfect. Unexpectedly, Chi-Chi also held such a view. It was rare to be able to agree with Chi-Chi. Besides, as the saying goes, a female junior holds a golden brick. Videl seems to be 7 or 8 years older than you, so you are holding a golden brick. Even Kellen himself laughed when he said this. 3 gold bricks. Most people really can't hold them. 3 gold bricks. You are not afraid of exhausting me. Son Goten joked. Anyway, their ridicule belongs to their ridicule, and the final decision-making power is still in their own hands. At this time, another voice sounded in the room. Aunt Chi-Chi, I am so much older than Goten. Asking for flowers? And Goten doesn't seem to like me very much. She definitely can't accept me. Videl said in a shy voice. It can be heard that she has a crush on Son Goten. Otherwise, it would be impossible to say such a thing. Don't be afraid. Goten is my son. I know him best as a mother. Goten is just young and a bit shy about things like this. Since you are older than Goten, you have to take the initiative to withdraw money. I can tell you, if you miss this village, you won't have this store. Chi-Chi hurried on. Son Goten outside the door listened to a black thread. I'm not even 10 years old. You start plotting like this? Are you still human? Wow, huh? Killing me? Looking at Son Goten's expression, you mocked him without hesitation. It's just that after a few words of laughter, I can't laugh anymore. Because he thought that Goten would soon have a girlfriend when he was less than 10 years old. And myself, in my 30s, doesn't even have a girlfriend. Not even a girl's hand has touched it. Thinking of this, he had an urge to cry. People are really more popular than people. Ha ha. Mr. Kling, why didn't you smile all of a sudden? Don't be so depressed. Men get better as they get older. Looking at Kling's mournful face, this time it was Son Goten's turn to start making trouble. Perhaps the laughter of the two was too loud, and the door was opened. Videl and Chi-Chi come out. Huh? Goten, Kling, when did you come back? And who is this bunch of pink fat people? Seeing the 3 people standing at the door, Chi-Chi asked immediately. Videl, on the other hand, blushed instantly. The conversation between the two of them just now must have been heard by Son Goten. It's really embarrassing. It's been a while. Mom, his name is Buu, he's my friend. Son Goten introduced. Chubby, does it look cute? By the way, you in a fight again just now. Are you injured? Chi-Chi quickly looked at Son Goten's body and then asked with concern. The shock of the earth just now must have caused the emergence of new enemies. No, it has been resolved. Son Goten shook his head and said. Then look at Videl. At this moment, Videl's face turned even redder. Aunt Chi-Chi, I suddenly remembered that there is still something to do today. I'll visit again when I'm free. After finishing speaking, Videl ran away like a loser. Coming quickly. I just prepared a lot of food, and Videl hasn't eaten yet, so it's just cheaper for you. In this way, time is lost day by day. 10 days passed in a blink of an eye. During these 10 days, Son Goten still did not stop his training. There is no slack in the intensity of daily training. Majin Buu started his studies with the help of Chi-Chi and then helped with some housework. This guy's IQ also improved very quickly. Now it is completely possible to communicate with him without barriers. As for Kling, he also trained with Son Goten. Although he is a man-made man, he was transformed on the basis of human beings. So Kling can also improve his strength through training. At noon, when I went home for dinner, Videl came back again, this time with a lot of gifts. Most of them were some delicious snacks, and bought a lot of beautiful clothes for Chi-Chi. After all, she knew she wanted something to happen with Son Goten, and Chi-Chi was the most important breakthrough. Wow, these dresses and skirts are beautiful. Videl, it must have cost a lot of money. Chi-Chi held those clothes fondly and said happily. Everyone has a love for beauty, and women will like beautiful clothes and jewelry. It's just that since Chi-Chi followed Goku, he hasn't changed a few new clothes. After all, it is very difficult to feed 2 scions. There is no extra economy to buy new clothes for yourself. In the past few years, Son Goten has also been busy training and didn't pay attention to this matter. Aunt Chi-Chi, as long as you like it, these clothes don't cost much. Videl is also very talkative. At this time, she seemed to have changed from that arrogant and self-righteous young lady. The clothes are very beautiful, and I like them very much. It's just that I'm a bit older. Want to be a bit fancy to wear these clothes? Chi-Chi held the clothes in front of the mirror and then gestured. Obviously, she really likes these clothes. Aunt Chi-Chi, you're not old at all, and these clothes are just right for you now. And I bought you a lot of cosmetics. After Videl finished speaking, he raised his chin and glanced at the Son Goten factory. 056 Gods of Destruction Beerus awakens, predicting the enemy in the dream. Subscription required. What a waste of money, Videl. By the way, Goten, do you think I look good in these clothes? Chi-Chi turned his head, looked at Son Goten, and asked. Looking at the happy Chi-Chi, Son Goten nodded again and again. Well, Videl was right. These clothes fit Mom perfectly. Boom, boom, boom. And at this moment, there was a knock on the door. Son Goten hurried to open the door. Aunt Bulma, please come in. It's Bulma. Goten, you've grown a lot taller. It looks more and more like Goku. Bulma also greeted warmly, then walked into the room. 3 women in one play, Chi-Chi, Bulma, and Videl chatted for nearly 2 hours. This is boring enough for Son Goten on the sidelines. After chatting for a while, Bulma finally revealed the purpose of his visit this time. Goten, Chi-Chi, and this Goten's girlfriend, it's my birthday in 5 days. This time I plan to celebrate my birthday in a big way, so I threw a big party. At that time, I will hold a birthday party on the cruise ship on the West Sea, and you will all be there. Truth be told, there are only so few true friends left on Earth right now. Goku and Vegeta have been dead for 8 years, and she has almost been concentrating on researching technology for the past 6 months. So there is no time to make friends at all. After much deliberation, there are only these friends that can be invited. Huh, a birthday party on a luxury cruise ship. Great. I've never been to a birthday party like this, so we're definitely going. Chi-Chi immediately said 007 with bright eyes. Ever since I married Goku, I've basically been saving money every day. She basically never thought about things like luxury cruise ships. This time, Bulma kindly invites you, which is indeed a rare opportunity. Then he went on to ask, by the way, Bulma, I saw on TV that when other rich people hold birthday parties on cruise ships, there are lucky draws. Do you have any? Certainly. I also set up a lottery. This time the prize is very good, Bulma said deliberately. But she was telling the truth. This time, a random reward is something that some ordinary people would not be able to earn after dozens of lifetimes of hard work. That's great, Videl. If our family of 3 participates, then our chances of winning must be very high. Chi-Chi immediately took Videl's hand and said. Videl blushed suddenly and looked at Son Goten. Son Goten was speechless. This leaves no room for decision-making at all. Okay, I'm going back first. After 5 days, all of you must come. After emphasizing it again, Bulma left in his own helicopter. Time flies by like quicksand. 5 days is almost fleeting for everyone, especially for Son Goten who trains every day. Time flies even more. On this day, Videl also came to Baozi Mountain early. This guy seems to regard this place as his own home, and he is very used to it. At Chi-Chi's request, Son Goten also tidied himself up, putting on a suit that he didn't really like. In Chi-Chi's words, to participate in this kind of formal event, you must dress more grandly. What would it be like to go to a party in a training suit? His mother's life was hard to break, so Sun Wu had no choice but to follow suit. Although with his strength, he can be ranked in the universe. But in front of Chi-Chi, he became that well-behaved son. This may be the suppression of the blood. After using instant transmission, a few people arrived at the designated place soon. A huge cruise ship feels exactly like an aircraft carrier. I have to say, Bulma is really rich. And this cruise ship is no ordinary luxury cruise ship. It is loaded with many energy attack systems and energy defense systems. The emergence of powerful enemies one after another on the Earth also made Bulma not only study some defensive weapons. After transforming Klin into an artificial human, he also began to develop offensive weapons. Since she is such a talent, protecting the Earth must not be done by Goten and Krillin alone. Everyone should do what they can. At least that's what Bulma thinks. Wow, is this a luxury cruise ship? It's so shocking. Looking at the luxurious cruise ship like an aircraft carrier in front of him, Chi-Chi couldn't help sighing. At this time, under the luxury cruise ship, a large circle is full of food stalls. But every chef who makes snacks is a master. The entire cruise ship also exudes national flavor. Chi-Chi Goten, you are here. That's when Bulma came out. Today she is wearing a sky blue tight dress. This life dress framed her perfect figure. Although Bulma is very old now, but because of the good maintenance, her appearance and figure are impeccable. Even compared to those well-known actresses on the earth, it is a complete victory. Aunt Bulma, you are so beautiful today. Son Goten couldn't help but praise too. This is not a remark against one's will, but a compliment from the heart. I have to say that Bulma's appearance and figure really have nothing to say. Yo, our Goten is really good at complimenting people. The little mouth is so sweet. Bulma smiled happily. No woman doesn't like to be praised, even if the person who praised him was only a child under 10 years old. Oh, what a pity. If Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta are here, the party will be perfect. Chi-Chi sighed a little sadly. Although having Goten's company makes her feel very happy, but many times, she still misses Goku and Gohan. I don't know if they're doing well in the underworld, especially Gohan. Did he study hard and train well? That guy Goku is also true. Since he contacted them once 8 years ago, he hasn't contacted her once in the past 8 years. Obviously, he has the qualifications. Yes, especially my Trunks. Bulma's originally happy expression also turned sad in an instant. He didn't miss Vegeta too much, but his son, Trunks, died at the age of 1. Even now, she misses Trunks every day. I wonder how tall he is now and what he looks like. But after a moment of sadness, Bulma quickly recovered. Then he said, Okay, today is my birthday party. It should be a happy event. Let's not talk about these unpleasant things. Yes, don't talk about these unhappy things. Chi-Chi quickly agreed. He knew Bulma was in more pain herself. At least I have Goten by my side. But in Bulma's family, she is the only one now. Mom and dad, husband and son were all killed in a game of Cell 8 years ago. After leaving the unhappy things behind, everyone immediately began to enjoy the happy party. Moments later, Krillin came along with Master Roshi. Even Satan was invited by Bulma. Although everyone didn't like this guy before. But after all, Satan is Videl's daughter, and everyone knows what Videl is thinking. And at this time, in the distant world of gods of destruction, in the temple, gods of destruction, Beerus yawned and sat up suddenly. Then he looked around blankly. He seemed to have had a very magical dream just now, in which a very powerful opponent appeared. Just now, he clearly remembered the name of the opponent in the dream. But when he opened his eyes, the name suddenly became blurred. Until now, I can't remember the name at all. Hiss, what's that guy's name? How did he forget it so quickly? The eyes of gods of destruction, Beerus, shot out an icy light instantly, and he muttered to himself. Then try to recall, but can't remember at all. In my mind, there is a vague figure. Whis. After thinking for a while, but couldn't remember, Beerus immediately shouted loudly. Whoosh! The next second, with the sound of breaking through the air, Angel Whis figure suddenly appeared in front of Beerus. Hey, Master Beerus, are you awake? It's really a bit of a surprise. Why did you only sleep for so little time this time? Angel Whis looked at Beerus in surprise and asked. You know, in the past, Beerus had to sleep for at least 50 years. If it plays normally, it is easy to sleep for hundreds of years. But this time, he woke up after only sleeping for 39 years. That's a little too weird indeed. Whis, I just had a very strange precognitive dream. In the precognitive dream, a very powerful opponent appeared, claiming to be my rival. Obviously, that name was very clear just now, but after I woke up, I forgot that name completely. Beerus scratched his ear vigorously with his cat's paw, trying to remember. But after thinking about it for a long time, I still can't remember what the name is. Can't even remember a word. Master Beerus, dreams are like this. When you wake up dimly, the dream will be very clear. But once you regain consciousness, the dream will be hard to remember. But a precognitive dream? A rival? Master Beerus, are you sure you're not kidding me? In the entire 7th universe, how could anyone be your rival? Whis first popularized it, and then said in disbelief. You must know that Lord Beerus is the gods of destruction of the 7th universe. and he has mastered the fifth rule of this universe. It deserves to be the most powerful existence in this universe. No other human being or God can be his match. Of course, except myself as an angel. Giggle. That dream is very real. It is definitely a prophetic dream. And the scene of me fighting that guy in the dream is really, it's so real. It makes me feel that that guy definitely exists in reality. Beerus frowned tightly and then said very firmly, if there is no such guy in reality, the dream cannot be so real. More importantly, this is a prophetic dream made by gods of destruction, not an ordinary dream. Master Beerus, I think you have such a strange dream because you haven't had an equal match for you for too long. Dreams shouldn't be taken seriously. Even you had precognitive dreams a few times ago. Didn't they all come true? Whis still doesn't believe in precognitive dreams because Mr. Beerus had a few precognitive dreams before, but none of them came true. This time is naturally no exception. Cut the nonsense. I said it was true, and it was true. Hurry up and find out who the guy in my dream is. Where is he now? Beerus ordered directly without any explanation. No matter what, he must find out the guy in the predictive dream. Otherwise, it would feel like meat thread stuck between the teeth or earwax that cannot be removed from the ear, which would make him very, very uncomfortable. Then, what is the name of the rival in your dream? Whis could only ask helplessly. Name? I forgot. But you are Angel, with so many amazing superpowers. You must be able to help me find that guy in 3.4, right? Beerus froze for a moment, then spoke. Angel can have more powerful force than gods of destruction. What's more, the truth has many magical abilities. Even things like going back in time can be done, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find a guy who can predict dreams. Master Beerus, your joke is a bit too much. Although I am Angel, you don't even remember the name of your rival in your dream. How could I find it? Whis directly gave Beerus a big white eye. This guy really thinks of himself as omnipotent. You must know that even Grand Priest may not be able to do this kind of thing. Besides, he's just an ordinary angel. Cut. Can't find it. It's awful. It's such an exasperating feeling. Hearing Whis, he couldn't find the rival in the precognitive dream. Beerus scratched his head in pain. The character of the cat is quite irritable. Clean up. I'm going to vent my anger. Maybe looking at the gorgeous fireworks of the star explosion can remind me of something about precognitive dreams. Beerus said to Whis coldly. What he likes most is watching the gorgeous fireworks produced by the explosion of the planet. In this way, you can vent your anger a little bit. Yes, Lord Beerus. Whis nodded, and then got ready. He has long been used to this kind of thing. Every time Lord Beerus is upset, he destroys some planets. Although such law enforcement is actually unreasonable. As an angel, he can only counsel the gods of destruction and has no right to interfere with any decisions made by the gods of destruction. 057 Everyone's Brief Resurrection. Super 3 Son Goku's Challenge. Subscription required. And at this time on King Kai's planet. Son Goku and Vegeta are ready to go to Earth. Goku, you must remember that you are only allowed to stay on Earth for one day. After a day, I'll be back here again. King Kai exhorted again. Ah, I know Lord Kai. Son Goku nodded quickly. One day is enough. Granny divination, please. Then Son Goku glanced at the divination mother-in-law. Please. To return to Earth smoothly, they must rely on the ability to occupy their mother-in-law. Okay, get ready. We'll set off right away. After the divination mother-in-law said lightly, she led everyone to the Snake Road. Whether it is a dead person who wants to go to the King planet or a living person who wants to leave the planet, they must go through the Snake Road. For the current Son Goku, they can leave the Snake Road in an instant. Then say hello to Yama, and you can go back to the world. Earth, above a luxury cruise ship. Everyone seems to have forgotten all the unpleasantness before and started to taste the food. At this time, Videl also took the initiative to come to Son Goten again. Son Goten, I asked you to teach me the ability to fly last time. How are you thinking now? Videl asked proactively. Why do you have to think about becoming stronger? You have to know that becoming stronger will be accompanied by more dangers. Son Goten turned his head and said calmly. In fact, sometimes it's nice to be a normal person. Because the stronger the strength, the more effort you put in than other people, and naturally the harder it is. Danger will continue to follow. If it was before, I would definitely punish those lawbreakers purely for justice. But now, I want to become stronger because I don't want to widen the gap with you, Videl said very firmly, although saying such a thing is equivalent to her confessing to Son Goten. But she had already made up her mind. Anyway, this sentence must be said sooner or later. Feeling uncomfortable in my heart, 16 might as well say it as soon as possible. Phil, Son Goten smiled. Videl is just an ordinary human being, and the gap between him and himself will only become wider and wider. Trying to make up for this gap is simply a dream. Be naive and naive. Anyway, I've already made up my mind. If you don't teach me, I will go to Bowsy Mountain to find you every day, until you are willing to teach me the skills of fighting and the ability to fly. Videl curled his lips and said rascally, "She's hooked on Son Goten anyway." Forehead. Son Goten was speechless. The perseverance of this guy Videl is really unbelievable. Fine. When I have time, I will teach you the ability to fly. After hesitating for a moment, Son Goten could only agree. It wouldn't waste too much of his time anyway. Yeah. Hearing that Son Goten finally agreed, Videl also laughed happily. Then he gave a victory sign to Son Goten. Seeing Videl's childish expression, Son Goten was speechless. It seems that I am the younger one. And just as the birthday party was in full swing, Son Goten's face changed slightly because he felt several breaths approaching quickly. Whoosh whoosh. The next moment, with the sound of breaking through the air, 5 figures suddenly appeared in front of everyone. Impressively, it was Granny Divination, Son Goku, Vegeta, Son Gohan, and Piccolo. At the moment when the sound of piercing the air sounded, Kellen quickly looked in the direction of the sound. After seeing the hand-washed face, tears rolled in the eyes immediately. Yo! Long time no see, Clint. Son Goku also waved his hand in a signature way and greeted Kellen. Goku. Kellen couldn't control it anymore and rushed towards Son Goku directly. At this moment, Kellen no longer had the strength and seriousness of this period of time. The old man in his 30s was as excited as a child at this moment. The snot flowed from the corner of his mouth. After all, he has no nose. However, the relationship between Kellen and Son Goku may only be clear to them. No one else can understand it at all. Along with the movement, everyone also looked over. Goku, Gohan, my Gohan, Vegeta, Special, Trunks. After seeing those familiar faces, Chi-Chi and Bulma burst into tears. Especially after seeing their respective sons, tears could no longer be held back. For 8 years, they missed their son almost every day. Now finally see them. Mother! Son Gohan and Trunks were also very excited watching Chi-Chi and Bulma. Son Gohan also hasn't seen Chi-Chi for 8 years. As for the Trunks, they've been on King Kai's planet for as long as I can remember. So I miss his mother very much every day. Gohan, Trunks, Chi-Chi, and Bulma ran directly to Son Gohan and Trunks. Looking at this scene, everyone's noses are sour. After Son Goten looked at the halo above Son Goku's head and the divination mother-in-law, he instantly understood why they could come to the real world. Obviously got the special needs of King Kai and King Yama, but you can't stay on Earth for long. This touching scene lasted for 5 full minutes before Chi-Chi and Bulma's emotions stabilized. Son Goku pushed Kellen away and walked to Son Goten's side. Goten, I finally met you. You are really very strong, much stronger than Dad. Son Goku looked at Son Goten with a kind smile on his face and said, Goten, this is your father Goku. Chi-Chi also quickly introduced to Son Goten. As a time traveler, Son Goten naturally knows these things. But it has been 6 years since time travel to the present, plus 2 years of spiritual time. He never met Son Goku at all. Not even a word was spoken between the two of them. So the feeling for Son Goku is completely incomparable with Chi-Chi. Therefore, the word father is indeed difficult to pronounce. Son Goten just nodded. Chi-Chi is not reluctant about this either. After all, Goten had never met Goku before. Now that there is an extra father suddenly, it is really hard to accept. Goku, Gohan, why is there a halo over your head? At this time, Chi-Chi also finally discovered that Goku and Gohan each had a silver halo on their heads. Bulma also looked at Trunks and Vegeta curiously, because each of them has such a halo on their head. Chi-Chi, we don't really have a resurrection. This time, it's because the King of the World specially approved us to return to the Earth for one day. So after one day, we still have to go back to the Lord of the World, Son Goku said bluntly. As soon as these words came out, the eyes of everyone who were still excited just now dimmed. In fact, this kind of parting after a short time together is more hurtful than not meeting each other. Fine. One day at a time, at least you guys can meet Goten and let him see what his father looks like. Soon Chi-Chi came back to his senses and then said with a forced smile, I thought the whole family would be able to reunite this time. Unexpectedly, they only had one day to come back. Okay, everyone, don't stick around. Hurry up and eat. I have prepared a lot of food today. I guess you guys didn't eat very well in the underworld. At this time, Bulma also forced a smile and said, some things they cannot change. That being the case, let everything take its course. Ah, the food at King Kai's place is really bad, and I can't get enough every time. I can have a good meal today. Son Goku said it heartlessly. It seems that they didn't notice the gloomy expressions of Chi-Chi and Bulma at all. Cut. BD Kakarot, you eat the most every time. Vegeta cursed directly. Every time it was this guy who ate the most food, and now he said such a thing. And it is estimated that if King Kai hears about it, he will die of heartbreak. 2 hours later, everyone had almost eaten. Son Goku patted his round belly. Then he got up and walked directly to Son Goten. At this time, Chi-Chi and the others also looked at Son Goku, not knowing what he was going to do. Goten, the main purpose of my visit to Earth this time is actually to feel your power. Because the last time I saw you fighting Xian Yinbua, my blood was boiling. So, I've been looking forward to a fight with you. At this moment, Son Goku looked very serious. This was the purpose of his coming to Earth, to fight Goten. Get a good feel for Goten's current strength. Goku, what nonsense are you talking about? Goten is your son, not your enemy. What do you want to do with him? Chi-Chi immediately stepped forward to stop it. Goku, this guy, is really weird. After finally returning to the Earth for a day, if he didn't get along with his family, he actually wanted to fight his son. This is really unreasonable. Son Jun, what is going on in your mind? He is Goten, your own son. Bulma often didn't understand Son Goku's approach, so he just opened his mouth and scolded. They finally had the chance to meet again. Today is his birthday, and it was originally a joyful one. But this guy Goku doesn't know what to do. Where does he want to fight you, Tien? Chi-Chi, Bulma, don't you know Goku yet? He's always been like this. Goten's strong strength must have aroused Goku's desire to fight. So you don't have to worry, they're just simply competing. Seeing the anxious Bulma and Chi-Chi, Kellen smiled slightly and said, sure enough, it wasn't Chi-Chi who knew Son Goku. It's his good friend Kellen. After all, we practiced together and grew up together. Clemby, Vegeta, and Piccolo and the others know Son Goku better. Come on, Goten. Son Goku ignored the others and said to Son Goten with a smile, 600, you are no match for me. Even if I don't need to transform, you won't last a few rounds in my hands, so this is a meaningless battle. Son Goten also raised his head and glanced at Son Goku, then said calmly, he totally understands what Son Goku is thinking, because this guy is a fighting madman himself. When he meets a stronger opponent than him, he feels extremely excited. And he doesn't care who the opponent is. Even his son is no exception. It's just that Son Goku's power is a bit too weak right now. Even if he can become Super Saiyan 3 now, it is absolutely impossible to compare with himself. This battle was meaningless in the first place, and he didn't have much interest in it. I know, but I just want to feel your strength. Son Goku nodded, not unexpectedly. He naturally knows that Goten's strength is far above him. Even if he doesn't have to change into the form of Super Saiyan, it is still not comparable to him. But if you don't fight a battle, I always feel very regretful. It seems that today's battle is inevitable. If that's the case, then come on. But I'll finish it later, so don't waste Aunt Bulma's birthday party. After seeing Son Goku's determined expression, Son Goten also knew that this battle was inevitable. Then let's have some fun. Anyway, the final result has already been doomed. Ma, no problem. Son Goku immediately nodded happily, and the others also retreated a distance of several tens of feet very tactfully. Vegeta and Piccolo all stared at Son Goten closely. This time, I can finally see the power of Goten with my own eyes and feel the breath of Goten for myself. To be honest, they also expect more. Ha ha ha. Accompanied by low growls, Son Goku directly transformed into the form of Super Saiyan 2. Blue lightning crackled around the body, and the flames around the body also surged crazily. Goten, next I will transform into a Super Saiyan target form. That's all my strength. Son Goku raised the corner of his mouth and said with a smile. Then he clenched his fists and roared in a low voice, while his aura also skyrocketed extremely rapidly. Under Krillin and Chi-Chi's surprised eyes, Son Goku's golden hair began to grow in an instant. In a moment, it was straight down to the waist. The gas flames and blue electric arc around the body became more and more violent, and the aura also reached an unprecedented intensity. 058 Nightmare. Terrified old Supreme Kai, Master Beerus has awakened. As expected of Goku, even in the underworld, his strength is still ridiculously strong. After seeing Son Goku's Super Saiyan 3 forms, Kellen couldn't help sighing. Originally thought that after being transformed, his strength would be similar to that of Goku and the others, at least not too far behind. But now it seems that Goku still has a strength far beyond him. Cut! Kakarot, that BD, must have done it on purpose to annoy me. After seeing Son Goku become Super Saiyan 3 again, Vegeta looked unhappy. After all, he has been stuck at the limit of Super Saiyan 2 and has not broken through. Every time after seeing Kakarot become Super 3, he will always be inexplicably angry. At this time, Videl, who was not far away, was completely dumbfounded. A few months ago, he naively thought that his father was the most powerful man in the world. But now it seems that this is really too funny, because the strength of these guys in front of him seems to be higher than his father. Taking a closer look, the guys with the halo above their heads seem to have appeared in the fight with Cell 8 years ago. She has seen some of the videos that were preserved at that time. It really is them. They're the same people who fought Cell 8 years ago. Videl also suddenly realized. Then he looked at Satan not far away. At this moment, Satan can't wait to find a crack in the ground and get in immediately. It's so FG embarrassing. Especially after seeing Son Goku and Vegeta. The feeling of guilty conscience became more and more intense. After all, he has shamelessly deprived him of the glory that these people earned so hard a few years ago. But fortunately, those guys in front of them didn't seem to be for that matter this time. Russell at this moment. The arrogance around Son Goku's body became more and more intense. There is a golden halo shining on the golden hair. It's clear that Son Goku's strength has clearly reached its limit in Super Saiyan 3. Goten, aren't you planning on transforming? After transforming into Super Saiyan 3, Son Goku asked. Need not. Son Goten shook his head. This is not because he is arrogant, but because there is really no need for that. If transformed into Super Saiyan form, Son Goku can be defeated in a split second. Then this battle, for Son Goku, has no sense of experience at all. It's true, it seems that there is no such kind of necessary haul. Then I'm going to attack. Son Goku made claws with his hands, one in front of the other in a fighting posture. The moment the voice fell, the body flashed out like a cheetah. This speed is very fast, and Kling and Piccolo can only see an afterimage flashing by. Only Vegeta and Son Gohan can barely keep up with Son Goku's speed with the naked eye. Aha! Son Goku roared, and then punched Son Goten directly. This time he only used half his strength, because that's how Son Goku fights. The first attack will definitely not go all out. Although he has now become the form of Super Saiyan 3, he is also preparing to increase his strength a little bit to feel the power of Goten. In Son Goten's eyes, Son Goku's attack was ridiculously poor in terms of speed and strength. He stretched out his palm casually, easily blocking Son Goku's attack. Then he said lightly, "It's better to fight with all your strength. There is no need to conduct such unnecessary temptations." Of course, he also knew that this was Son Goku's fighting habit. At the beginning, you will definitely not fight with all your strength. In the Dragon Ball Super Strength Conference, facing the unimaginably powerful Jiren did the same. "Ah, you're right. It looks like you're going to use all your strength." Son Goku nodded, and then his expression changed. Suddenly increased the strength. A terrifying golden flame instantly swept in all directions. Son Goten also took advantage of the momentum to retreat several tens of feet backward. This is not because Son Goku's power is too strong, but because if the power just now is followed head-on, the shockwave will definitely be huge. At that time, it will inevitably affect others. After retreating several tens of feet, Son Goten tapped the ground lightly with his toes. A grass-green energy barrier instantly enveloped the entire luxury cruise ship and everyone. In this way, nothing will go wrong. As long as I don't take the initiative to use more than half of my strength to fight, then the energy barrier will not be destroyed. Whoosh! Ah! Son Goku followed immediately, and then his fists were like machine guns, launching a stormy attack. With such an incomparable attack effort, countless afterimages of fists appeared. But Son Goten easily blocked all the attacks with just one hand. Even if Son Goku becomes Super Saiyan 3, their strengths are still vastly different. But, damn it, is this the strength of Goten? Can't do any harm to him at all. And this kid seems to be stronger than half a month ago. Son Goku sighed secretly in his heart. Goten half a month ago, the normal launching is definitely not so strong. But it has only been half a month, and his strength seems to have improved qualitatively again. Swish, swish, swish. Son Goku was still pumping his fists, but it was impossible to break through Son Goten's defense at all. Every time it will be blocked accurately. At this time, Piccolo and Vegeta, who were watching the battle, were no less frightened than Son Goku. That boy Goten's strength has actually improved so much. Even if you practice day and night, you shouldn't grow so fast. What is going on? Piccolo stared closely at the battle between the two, thinking in his heart. Goten's strength at this time has completely surpassed his understanding of Saiyan. Smelly brat. There should be a limit to how outrageous it is. Vegeta's complexion was uglier than eating a fly. You must know that Kakarot is also undergoing overload training every day on King Kai's planet. Rather, the gap between them is not only not narrowed, Kongsher has become bigger and bigger. The current Kakarot, even with all his strength, cannot be compared with Son Goten at all. Goten, if you keep blocking like this, the battle will not end. Let me feel your strength. Son Goku also knew that Son Goten didn't show any strength at all. From the beginning of the battle to the present, he has always been a passive partner. Although this situation has already let him know that Goten's normal state is much stronger than him, but he still wants to feel Goten's strength. In that case, I promise you. Son Goten nodded. His expression became more serious. To be honest, this kind of battle is no fun for him, and he couldn't arouse any interest. Since Son Goku has such a request, let's end this battle as soon as possible. After seeing Goten getting serious, Son Goku also nodded heavily. Then the toes lightly tapped the ground, and the body has retreated a distance of several tens of feet. Afterwards, his hands clasped together in an instant, and he made his own signature move. The blue energy is also quickly condensed in the palm of the hand in an instant. Kamehameha wave. The moment the blue energy condensed, Son Goku directly used his own Kamehameha wave. The blue dragon crashed directly into Son Goten. Both Chi-Chi and Videl cried out in surprise. Unexpectedly, this guy Goku fought with his own son and used Kamehameha waves. Under everyone's gaze, Son Goten's body was instantly swallowed by blue energy. No effect at all. Son Goku's face suddenly sank, because he felt that Goten's breath didn't change in any way. This means that his most powerful Kamehameha wave can't do any damage to Goten. Piccolo and Son Gohan were equally shocked, because they can also feel that Goten's breath has not weakened in any way, not even the slightest fluctuation. The blue energy wave dissipated quickly, but Son Goten's body appeared intact in everyone's sight. Was hit head-on by the Kamehameha wave, but was injured a little bit. At this scene, everyone gasped, because they know how powerful Goku's Kamehameha waves are. It's over. After Son Goten's faint voice fell. In a flash, an afterimage remained on the spot, and the body had already arrived in front of Son Goku. Then a light punch landed on Son Goku's stomach. Boom! The moment the low collision sound sounded, Son Goku's body was directly blown away by a punch. After falling heavily on the ground, he exited the Super Saiyan form directly. Holding her belly tightly with her hands, she was sweating profusely. Although the punch just now was light to Son Goten, but to Son Goku, that kind of damage was enough to make him lose his fighting power. Dad, old grandson, Son Gohan, and Piccolo quickly helped Son Goku up. Goku, hurry up and eat the fairy beans. Kellen also hurriedly took the fairy beans to Son Goku. No way, Goten's punch just now was too heavy. After eating the fairy beans, the heart-piercing pain disappeared instantly. Goten, you are so strong. The gap between us is really too big. After recovering from his injury, Son Goku walked up to Son Goten again. This time he was completely convinced. It is estimated that the gap between the two of them will be difficult to make up in this lifetime. But he didn't have any jealousy or envy. On the contrary, he was happy from the bottom of his heart. Because Goten is his son and a warrior of the earth. If he protects the earth, then he can return to the underworld with complete peace of mind. The earth is protected by Goten, and it is estimated that no one can cause harm to it. Son Goten just smiled. And at this time in the Supreme Kai world, originally, Supreme Kai and the three of them were drinking tea leisurely. All of Bu and Fong have been dealt with, and the threat of universe is gone. That's why they can be so leisurely. And all this is because of Goten's help. Otherwise, with the destructive power of Xian Yinbua and Majin Buu, I don't know what the current universe will be like. Lord Ancestor, this time the tea is not bad. Supreme Kai took a sip of tea, looked at the old Supreme Kai and asked, although your strength is ridiculously weak, and you are the most useless one among the previous Supreme Kai, however, your skill in making tea is still very good. Making tea not only pays attention to craftsmanship, but also pays attention to mind. The tea you make is as peaceful and stable as your mind. The old Supreme Kai also gave a very high evaluation after tasting 2 bites. In fact, making tea is the most important thing to pay attention to a Zhao person's heart. For a person with a kind personality, the tea brewed must be crystal clear. If a person has a violent personality, the tea brewed must be muddy. Then when Supreme Kai usually selects candidates, making tea will also become a test. Thank you, Master Ancestor, for your compliment. Supreme Kai Asin could only have the cheek to take this as a compliment. Yes, the best Supreme Kai tea is well brewed, which is a nice compliment indeed. The old Supreme Kai was just about to take a second sip from his teacup. Suddenly, his expression suddenly changed. Bang dang, the teacup in his hand suddenly fell to the ground and fell to pieces. And the old Supreme Kai stood up abruptly, raised his head and looked at the sky with a look of horror in his eyes. First, Master Ancestor, what's wrong with you? Seeing that the old Supreme Kai stood up suddenly, with such a panicked expression on his face, Supreme Kai and Jebet hurriedly asked. Several stars have disappeared in the short space of time, just now. This feeling, there is nothing wrong. That adult is awake. The old Supreme Kai looked at the sky, his eyes filled with deep fear and fear. Although there are many strong people in this universe who can destroy several planets in an instant, but there's nothing wrong with that all-too-familiar dread. That adult, Master Ancestor, what are you talking about? Who is it? Supreme Kai Asin and Jebet looked puzzled. Why can't they understand what the ancestors said? Gods of destruction, Lord Beerus. Idiot, don't you feel it at all? The old Supreme Kai said to the two with an incomparably solemn expression. 059, that name is Super Saiyan God, please subscribe. The aura of Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus is so powerful, and it is also the aura of gods. And in the short period of time, just now, several planets have been destroyed. The two idiots in front of me didn't feel it at all. Just like that, I can still become Supreme Kai. This is definitely the weakest existence among all previous Supreme Kais. What's more, Supreme Kai and Gods of Destruction are synonymous. These two bastards don't seem to know the existence of Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus at all. I don't know why those guys from the past insisted on keeping such a fool. Gods of Destruction, Lord Beerus. Both of them were stunned for a while, and then looked at each other again. Obviously, the two of them had no idea of the existence of Gods of Destruction Beerus. Never even heard the name before. So no matter where they go, both of them call themselves the most cutting-edge gods in the universe. It's not wrong to say that you are the most useless Supreme Kai. Even Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus doesn't know. The old Supreme Kai cursed again, regardless of Supreme Kai Asin's face, then began to popularize Gods of Destruction to the two, telling them the relationship between Gods of Destruction and Supreme Kai. By the way, tell them about the main work of Supreme Kai and Gods of Destruction. In other words, we Supreme Kai are responsible for the creation and restoration of a universe. The Gods of Destruction are the exact opposite. They're responsible for destroying planets. It is also rare for the old Supreme Kai to explain carefully to them, because with Gods of Destruction, you must be very cautious when dealing with Gods of Destruction. Although these two idiots don't know the existence of Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus yet, but as the Supreme Kai of this universe, they will meet sooner or later. If the time comes, it will be too bad if Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus is not recognized. Maybe Master Beerus may destroy countless planets in a fit of rage. Supreme Kai Asin and Jebet nodded quickly. Then he hurriedly asked, Master Ancestor, since this is the case, does it mean that Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus must destroy work to follow the law of universe balance? For example, the planets he wants to destroy are planets that don't need to exist. Because that's how they see Wang Shun. Their work is not aimless creation. Rather, the peace of the universe must be maintained. If too many planets are created, it may cause the entire universe to lose balance. In this case, for 140, that is their work error. Then if Gods of Destruction and Supreme Kai correspond, it stands to reason that the destruction work of Gods of Destruction should also follow certain rules. Naive idea. Master Beerus doesn't follow any rules when destroying planets. All his destruction and destruction are purely out of interest. Planets he doesn't like or can't understand will be ruthlessly destroyed by him. The old Supreme Kai shook his head helplessly, and after explaining, he looked at the sky again, because just now he felt that two planets disappeared out of thin air. That's definitely what Master Beerus does. That Gods of Destruction aura that made him dreaded was absolutely impossible to go wrong. Okay, what a scary god. Then what should we do now? My Lord Ancestor, are we going to let Lord Beerus wreak havoc? Supreme Kai Asin asked again. After all, it is not easy for them to create a planet. If the destruction is driven by interest, some planets with relatively high civilization coefficients may be destroyed. It should be known that planets with higher civilization coefficients are generally more difficult to create. Moreover, a long history, culture, and civilization are not so easy to form. Some planets may need tens of millions of years, or even hundreds of millions of years. But Master Beerus only needs a thought to destroy it. This seems very unfair. What else can I do? Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus is an existence that no one can stop. Take Son Goten as an example. Although he has super strength, he is even more invincible in your eyes. But I have to tell you clearly, even if it is Son Goten, his strength is vastly different from that of Master Beerus. It's no exaggeration to say that if Master Beerus used all his strength, he might be able to kill Son Goten in an instant. The old Supreme Kai said seriously again. Although undeniable, Son Goten is really strong. Among humans and even gods, they are rare existences. These Supreme Kais have far surpassed them, but there is no comparison with Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus at all. What? Killing Goten in an instant? Isn't that too exaggerated? After hearing the old Supreme Kai's serious tone, Supreme Kai Asin and Jebet were completely dumbfounded. You must know that Son Goten is an invincible existence in their minds. There is also a big gap between the previous Supreme Kai and Goten. But that Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus was able to kill Goten in an instant. What are you kidding? It's unbelievable to them. Exaggerate? No, it's not an exaggeration at all. The old Supreme Kai shook his head immediately. Because he had seen the power of Lord Beerus before, he knew it better than anyone else. Then he continued, "The only thing we can do now is absolutely not to anger the Beerus people. If you accidentally provoke him, there may be countless planets and even the galaxy as the price. What worries him most now is not the two idiots in front of him, because as long as they are reminded a little, they simply don't have the guts to provoke Lord Beerus. His biggest concern right now is Son Goten, because that guy has super strength, and more importantly, he is still young. Although he is more mature and stable than his peers, the youthful arrogance of young people has not completely faded away. If you accidentally provoke Lord Beerus, then the Earth will definitely be destroyed in an instant. At that time, even the entire northern galaxy will be in an extremely dangerous situation. The ancestors have said so. We will naturally not provoke Gods of Destruction Beerus. It's just hope." Supreme Kai Ashen paused. Then he said, "I just hope that Master Beerus will never come to the northern galaxy. If you let him meet Goten, then the situation will be terrible." The old Supreme Kai's face sank, and he said, "I'm most worried about that guy right now. And now Son Goku and Vegeta and those Scions have also arrived on Earth, and those guys are not fuel-efficient lamps. It would be fine if there was only one Son Goten. After all, Son Goten can still listen. But that Son Goku seems not so serious, who would fight with his own son as soon as they met. Yes, hope Master Beerus doesn't go to Earth. However, the Earth is the most remote planet in this galaxy. Under normal circumstances, Mr. Beerus would not go to such an Earth. Would he?" Supreme Kai could only say prayers. "Can only hope so. If Lord Beerus really went to Earth by then I can only rush over and tell Goten about this in advance, so that he can prepare in advance. And at this time in the vast universe of the Western Galaxy, rumble, with the gorgeous blooming of a huge firework, a planet disappears from the universe. Not far away, there were two figures standing. Upon closer inspection, it's clearly Gods of Destruction Beerus and Angel Whis. At this moment, Gods of Destruction Beerus had his hands behind him. His eyes narrowed slightly, and he looked at the gorgeous fireworks in front of him. The fireworks produced by the explosion of the planet are really the most beautiful scenery in the world. It's already the 10th goal, and I haven't thought of Beast, that guy's name. It seems that more planets need to be destroyed." Beerus squinted his eyes and said indifferently to Whis beside him. The more he couldn't remember the name of the rival in his dream, the more uncomfortable he was. "So definitely find that guy. See if he has the qualifications to be his own rival. Even if it's just a good opponent, you can have a good fight with him. After all, in the past few million years, since the Gods of Destruction ordered to fight privately, he has not encountered a stronger opponent." "Master Beerus, is it really a good idea for you to sabotage aimlessly like this? Destroying a planet should be a serious matter. It takes a long time to consider the value of each planet, and finally make a plan for destruction. You are too casual. Such a reckless approach may lead to a continuous decline in the overall strength of our 7th universe." Angel Whis sighed, then looked at Beerus and said helplessly, "In fact, Gods of Destruction in several universes are very conscientious. Every time before destroying the planet, several considerations will be made. See if this planet is really worthless or necessary. Only after this repeated consideration will they destroy the planet." Said it was Master Beerus, but never thought about it. As long as you are in a bad mood, or if you don't like a certain planet, you will destroy it with a raise of your hand. Although this approach saves worry and effort, but it will also subtly weaken the comprehensive strength of a universe. Cut. I don't think about these things. Anyway, as long as my strength is stronger than the gods of destruction in other universes, as for the so-called comprehensive ability, I don't care at all. I just want to quickly find the rival of my dream. Beerus pouted with disdain. Anyway, being able to defeat other gods of destruction is enough to prove his worth. As for the comprehensive strength of universe, who would be bored to pay attention to these things? Master Zeno and Grand Priest have never announced the ranking of the 12 universes for tens of millions of years. Oh! Angel Whis could only continue to sigh and didn't say anything more. Anyway, if you do this, even if there are bad results in the future, Master Beerus will only bear it personally. Angel will not bear any responsibility as long as it does not violate Angel's principles. While talking, Beerus' eyes were fixed on the fireworks from the planet's explosion. Just when the fireworks are about to disappear, a figure suddenly appeared in the flames. That guy. That's right. It's the rival I dreamed about. The moment I saw a figure, a name was there, my mind instantly became clear. Super God of Scion. The name slipped through Beerus' teeth. Finally remembered the name. Super Scion God? Is this the name of the enemy in your foreseeing dream? After hearing the name, Whis also asked curiously. He hadn't heard the name Super Scion God before either. But since there is a word for God in his name, maybe he is also a god like Lord Beerus. Because as an angel, he is very aware of the strength of Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus. If it is a human being, it is impossible to become the opponent of Lord Beerus. As for the strong enemy, it is even more impossible. That's right. That's the name, Super Scion God. Beerus nodded very seriously. At this time, the fireworks in front of me have disappeared, and the figure in the fireworks also completely disappeared. Whis, hurry up and help me check this person and see where he is. Whether he is a human or a god, I must fight him well today. Just hope that God doesn't disappoint me too much. Beerus' eyes narrowed into a slit, revealing a strong desire to fight. Finally remembered the guy's name. So now just need Whis to help find him. You can have a good fight with him. Let's see if he is really like in the prophetic dream. Is he qualified to be his rival? Oh, fine. Whis could only nod his head. Then the staff in his hand nodded lightly. Then he began to observe carefully from the gems on the staff. Angel's staff is not a decoration, but also has very powerful superpowers. Gain insight into almost anything in the universe and the history of what has happened. After observing for a full minute, Whis shook his head. Then he said, Master Beerus, our seventh universe does not have a guy named Super Scion God. It seems that the powerful enemy in your foreseeing dream should not be in our seventh universe. Because if it is in the seventh universe, as an angel, he will definitely be able to find it. Impossible. Absolutely no other universe guy. Beerus immediately shook his head resolutely. Then I started to think seriously, Super Scion God? Scion. It seems that this so-called Super Scion God may be related to those Scion who claim to be a fighting nation. It must be so. As long as you find the surviving Scion from the seventh universe, you will most likely be able to find the Super Scion God. 060 Beerus and Whis arrive. Extremely uneasy. Subscribe. Whis, hurry up and find out where Scion from our seventh universe is now. As soon as he thought of this, Beerus immediately said to Whis impatiently, no matter what, he must find his dream rival today. This is the so-called Super Scion God. See if he can bear the word God. See if he is qualified to become his own rival. Master Beerus, are you sleepy? Don't you forget that the Vegeta planet where Scion lived was destroyed by Frisia decades ago. Cluck. If I remember correctly, you ordered Frisia to do this. Whis first complained, and then said to Beerus. Speaking of that, Beerus is actually quite childish. Wasn't it King Vegeta who kept the most comfortable pillow in the universe for himself? Then gave Lord Beerus the slightly worse pillow. As a result, Master Beerus thought that King Vegeta lacked due respect for him. So he directly asked Frisia to destroy the planet Scion. Cut. Is there such a thing? I've long since forgotten, but those Scions are too self-righteous. Human beings who lack due respect for God should be completely wiped out. Beerus snorted softly and said with a look of disdain, Human beings should have awe of God. A weak and arrogant guy like King Vegeta should be destroyed. Okay, hurry up and help me see if there are any survivors. Although Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta, many of those guys have been on missions on other planets all year round, and some of them may have survived. Beerus asked again. All he wants now is to find the so-called Super Saiyan God. For other things, he is not interested now. As for instructing Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta, he had long since forgotten about it. A planet in the 7th universe is nothing to him. All right, Whis could only nod his head, then began to search for things about the surviving Saiyan. Saiyan, who survived decades ago, is quickly found. Among them are Son Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, and Nappa. The picture of Raditz and Nappa being killed, and the picture of Son Goku killing Frieza were all presented in front of Beerus. After seeing Son Goku kill Frieza, Beerus is also very surprised, because he knows how good Saiyan is in combat. Although they claim to be a fighting nation, their strength is extremely weak. No match for Frieza at all. Only the King Vegeta child talent is slightly stronger. After the two watched for 3 or 4 minutes, Whis waved his staff lightly, and the scene in front of him disappeared. Then he said to Beerus, Master Beerus, Saiyan who defeated Frieza and Kaiser Vegeta are dead. There are only 2 surviving Saiyans, and one of them is another little prince from planet Vegeta, who, in their words, is a waste with no fighting talent. There was also a Saiyan kid of mixed race, the son of the Saiyan who killed Frieza. Whis introduced in a calm tone. As for other Saiyans, he has not found them yet. Oh, a waste? And an imp? Then who is stronger between the 2 of them? Beerus asked, because Saiyan, who is a little stronger, may be able to know some secrets about Super Saiyan God. As for the so-called waste, it should have no strength. It's simply impossible to get in touch with that guy called Super Saiyan God. It's Son Goku's son who is stronger. He seems to have a really good quality that goes beyond Son Goku and Frieza who has been killed. Whis spoke seriously this time. In this regard, he also expressed great surprise. After all, Frieza's strength is very powerful. Otherwise, that guy wouldn't dare to call himself the Emperor of the universe. And in the past few decades, he has been helping Lord Beerus rule this universe, and no opponent has appeared. Now a child who has only lived for a few years has the strength far surpassing Frieza. This really surprised him. Interesting. Where is that guy now? Take me there immediately. Beerus nodded with a sneer, and then said impatiently, that Super Saiyan God guy is a stick in his throat right now. If you don't defeat him with your own hands, it is estimated that this feeling of aggrieved will continue forever. Whis quickly looked at the staff again, then replied, it is a remote planet called Earth in the northern galaxy. According to the division, it should be a planet with backward combat effectiveness and technology. Earth? It's the first time I've heard of this kind of planet. With a little preparation, we will head to Earth immediately. After a little hesitation, Beerus spoke, although he is not very interested in that kind of backward planet. But this may be the only way to find Super Saiyan God. Okay, Beerus people. Whis nodded again. Then the staff in his hand tapped the ground lightly. The bodies of the 2 instantly turned into a beam of brilliant streamer, and then disappeared in a flash. On Earth right now, Bulma's birthday party is still in full swing. After being defeated by Son Goten, Son Goku also had no idea of continuing to fight at all. After finally coming to the Earth for a day, I can finally taste the food of the Earth. After all, Master King Kai's craftsmanship is really bad. Wow, it's still the most delicious food on Earth. Speaking of which, I really don't want to go back to Master King Kai's new ball. You're right, Vegeta. Son Goku slurred to Vegeta while frantically stuffing food into his mouth. Cut! Vegeta snorted arrogantly. He doesn't want to talk to that BD Kakarot right now. Vegeta also immediately accelerated his eating speed. It seems that even if you eat, you have to compete with Kakarot. Looking at Son Goku and Vegeta, who were devouring, Chi-Chi and Bulma also showed knowing smiles on their faces. It seems that everyone is immersed in the joy of reunion. Only Son Goten was carelessly stuffing skewers into his mouth. What a strange feeling. It always feels like something really bad is going to happen. Son Goten thought to himself. Just a few minutes ago, he suddenly had a very uneasy feeling in his heart. This feeling seems to have never appeared before. Today is Aunt Bulma's birthday. Gods of Destruction Beerus won't show up? Watching these fiery birthday parties, Son Goten guessed. Because in the original Dragon Ball, the day Beerus came to Earth was also Bulma's birthday party. And the scene seems to be very close to the eyes. It's just that at this time, everyone was talking and laughing as if they didn't feel anything bad. At this moment, a familiar voice suddenly sounded from my mind. Goten, can you hear me? It is the voice of Supreme Kai Asin. And at the moment when he heard Supreme Kai's voice, Son Goten frowned slightly, because his intuition told him that his guess just now should come true. If there is no important matter, Supreme Kai should not contact him. And it can be heard that Supreme Kai Asin's tone is very serious at this time. Well, I can hear you. Is there anything Supreme Kai wants from me? After thinking for a while, Son Goten immediately recited silently in his mind. After all, you can communicate with these gods without talking. Goten, you have to listen very carefully to every word I say next, even every word. And you must keep it firmly in your heart, because this matter may affect the fate of the Earth and even the entire northern galaxy. With these two sentences, Supreme Kai Asin's tone became more serious. It's obviously a big deal, and a very, very big one. Otherwise, it would be impossible for him to speak in such a serious tone. This also made Son Goten more determined in his own mind. Definitely Gods of Destruction Beerus shows up. Perhaps Supreme Kai and Jebit don't know Gods of Destruction exists, or even recognize him. But now the old Supreme Kai has been released. Whenever Gods of Destruction Beerus starts destroying planets, the old Supreme Kai is definitely perceivable. Master Supreme Kai, if you have anything to say, just say it. I'm listening. Although he was basically 99% sure, Son Goten still asked politely. After all, Supreme Kai's personality is still very good. And also consider him a friend. It's like this. Now there is one of the most powerful and terrifying gods in the universe, rapidly approaching the northern Milky Way. Ask for flowers, according to the ancestor speculation, it is very likely that he will come to Earth. This Lord is so powerful that we can't even imagine. Even you, there is a dimensional gap between him and him. Of course, I know it's hard for you to believe and accept, but please believe everything I say. Don't make him angry. Otherwise, the entire universe will face a huge crisis. That Lord's strength is definitely not comparable to that of Xian Yinbua and Majin Buu. Supreme Kai Asin once again exhorted in an extremely serious tone. These words were taught to him word by the old Supreme Kai. In fact, even he himself didn't quite believe that the so-called Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus could kill Goten in an instant. But he still chooses to believe what the ancestor said 15 generations ago. And there is no need for the ancestor to joke with himself about this kind of thing. What's more, his character is relatively timid, so he would rather believe what he has or not. It sounds serious. Don't worry. Since that Lord is so powerful, I won't provoke him. Son Goten agreed immediately. This is his 100% certainty. That Lord must be Gods of Destruction Beerus. And those words just now, you are definitely taught by the old Supreme Kai Asin said. That's good. Also, please be sure to tell Goku-san and Vegeta-san what you just said, because their character is more impulsive. Supreme Kai exhorted again. He still believes in Goten because Goten's character is relatively calm. But Son Goku and Mr. Vegeta, they are two fighters with pure Saiyan blood, so they look forward to fighting the strong even more. This can be seen from Son Goku returning to Earth to fight Yutien. Okay, Son Goten continued to agree. In fact, he was still a little confused at the moment, although he now has the legendary Super Saiyan bloodline and the potential developed by Supreme Kai. But he is very clear that he is still not enough to be Gods of Destruction Beerus' opponent. There may even be a very large gap between them. Just like what Supreme Kai said just now, the Gods of Destruction, using all their strength, may even kill themselves in an instant. So at this time, he actually didn't want to meet Gods of Destruction and the others. But the other way around, he owns the system and possesses the divine skill instant transmission. and it is a sign of great power to master it. Even if it is not Beerus' opponent, it is not uncomfortable to want to escape. And if there is a battle with Beerus, it is very likely that Beerus' ability will be picked up. For example, God skills like destruction. If you can pick up the damage, then you can make a lot of money. So this also made him very entangled. Although the battle with Beerus may bring great rewards, it also hides a very huge crisis. Once Beerus was angered, let alone put himself in danger, the entire Earth could be destroyed by Beerus. Everyone on the Earth, naturally, cannot be spared. After disappearing here, Son Goten's brows frowned even deeper. The heart is also more entangled. Opportunities and crises often coexist. But sometimes many people are afraid to bet, because the stakes are simply too high. While thinking in Son Goten's mind, suddenly, a feeling of extreme anxiety spread instantly. Although he didn't feel any powerful aura, he couldn't feel the power of God without using Ultra Instinct. But at that moment, all the hairs on his body stood on end. Then he turned his head abruptly and looked towards the midair. Just saw two very familiar figures. A skinny purple cat, and a man with light blue skin and a tall silver head with a big back. These two people are gods of destruction Beerus and Angel Whis of the 7th universe. The moment he saw the two of them, Son Goten's pupils shrank suddenly. Are these two guys so fast? Oh, was it discovered so quickly? It looks really good. Seeing that Son Goten had discovered them unexpectedly, Beerus also had a look of surprise on his face. After all, with so many people, only Son Goten discovered their appearance in the first place. More importantly, this kid is only a human being, so he should not be able to feel the breath of God. This kind of subconscious judgment and alertness to danger, I have to say that this kid is a master. 061 Son Goten. Don't you just want to fight? I will accompany you. Seek subscription. That's right, Master Beerus. He was able to spot us so quickly. This is really not the vigilance that humans should have. Whis also said in a little surprise, human beings can't detect the breath of God at all, which shows that the little guy in front of him is very alert. And the ability to judge danger is quite amazing. In fact, this kind of talent is a very good seed if you learn Ultra Instinct. And after hearing the conversation between Whis and Beerus, only then did Son Goku and Vegeta react. Then he immediately put down the food in his hands and turned his head to look at Beerus and Whis. Who are those two guys? They are so strangely dressed. It looks a bit like Lord Kai and the others. Son Goku scratched his head and said with some doubts, and I can't feel the breath in their bodies at all. I haven't seen it. It must not be from Earth. Kellen shook his head and said, after all, such a dress and appearance are rare on Earth. Everyone also began to perceive the aura of the two people in front of them, but they couldn't detect it at all. Although it can quietly appear behind us, and we didn't notice it at all. It seems that these two guys should be very powerful. Piccolo frowned and said to Son Goku, and the god dinned at the side. The moment he saw Beerus and Whis, his body fought uncontrollably. There seemed to be a sense of oppression from the depths of his soul, which made him feel extremely scared. He is very clear that this is the oppressive force from the dimension. In other words, the two people in front of them should also be gods, and it is a very high-level god. Otherwise, it would be impossible to exert such a terrifying suppressive force on him. That face, so familiar. I seem to have seen it somewhere. Vegeta stared at Beerus intently. I always feel that this guy's face is very familiar, as if I have seen it somewhere. But for a while, I couldn't remember it at all. And at this moment, Beerus also suddenly looked back at Vegeta. The eyes narrowed into a slit, and an overwhelming sense of oppression hit instantly. Vegeta's pupils constricted suddenly, and he was sweating profusely in an instant. Nah, Nanny. Broken. Gods of destruction Beerus. The moment he saw Beerus' eyes, Vegeta finally remembered. Because this look is so familiar. He left an indelible fear in his heart when he was a child. At the age of 5, this guy in front of him trampled his father like a dog. With just one look, he completely lost his ability to move. And the look in his eyes at that time was exactly the same as now. So at this moment, Vegeta also immediately recognized Gods of Destruction Beerus. Gods of Destruction Beerus? Then who is it? Why didn't I hear you mention this name at all? Vegeta. Is it your friend? Son Goku was even more puzzled. Never heard Vegeta say the name Beerus before. And how did Vegeta have such a friend? Old son, if those two guys were Vegeta's friends, he would have such a frightened expression. It seems that my guess is not wrong at all. These two guys are absolutely ridiculously strong. Piccolo glanced at Vegeta's terrified expression and then said to Son Goku, Vegeta's character is extremely proud. There are not many existences that can scare him. But the guy in front of him made Vegeta sweat profusely with fear just by looking at him. This is definitely an opponent so strong that they can't believe it. He's a god, a very, very powerful god. At this time, Din also spoke to everyone in a fearful voice. In fact, everyone has already thought of this point. If you can't feel the breath of these guys at all, it means that they must be gods. And Vegeta also said just now, that guy seems to be called Gods of Destruction Beerus. Wow, Kaka, has another strong man appeared? Excited. Right, Vegeta. Son Goku said to Vegeta carelessly. There was even more excitement on his face. But Vegeta's complexion was indeed even uglier. Cursing in a low voice to Son Goku. If you don't want to die, if you don't want the whole Earth to be destroyed, just shut your mouth, Kakarot. Vegeta knows Beerus' power better than anyone. He can wipe out the entire Earth in an instant, and they can't stop Gods of Destruction Beerus at all. Huh? Vegeta, this doesn't seem like your character. Son Goku looked at Vegeta wonderingly. This guy is just like himself. Whenever he meets a strong opponent, he gets excited. But what happened today? There is no excitement at all, and it seems a little scared. Are those two guys who suddenly appeared very powerful? And at this moment, Beerus looked at Vegeta in midair and spoke. Long time no see, son-in-law King Vegeta. But you actually dare to call me by my first name. Do you think your life is too long? Beerus' voice was calm, but not pretentious. In a word, Vegeta trembled with fright. Immediately said respectfully, Sorry, Master Beerus. I lost my composure just now. Son Goku and the others have never seen such a respectful look. Even Vegeta didn't show such respect to the previous Frieza at all. It seems that it is completely the fear that penetrates into the bone marrow. What a disappointment. As the prince of the fighting nation Scion, has he lost his blood now? Frieza shook her head, then said contemptuously. Originally thought that the current Vegeta could more or less allow himself to practice his hands. But now it seems that he is a bit too overestimated. Perhaps the moment she saw herself, she had completely lost the courage to come under the quilt. Hey, is this guy talking too arrogantly? Son Goku shook his fist, very dissatisfied with what Beerus said just now. Whoosh! And at this moment, Son Goten's body flashed and appeared in front of Son Goku. Then he said in a low voice, The power of Gods of Destruction Beerus is beyond your comprehension, so Kai Fong should not say that he wants to challenge him. There's no way we're going to be his opponent. It's not that Son Goten is belittling himself. If you want to protect the Earth, you must not be impulsive. Also, don't PS off Beerus, because Son Goten knows very well that what Beerus hates most is humans who lack due respect for gods. In fact, this guy is still very humane. As long as you don't take the initiative to provoke, generally speaking, you won't get angry rashly. Is he stronger than you? Son Goku looked at Son Goten in surprise and said, I didn't expect that even Goten, who is so powerful, would say that. This surprised him, but also made him even more interested. Yes, he is much stronger than me. Son Goten also nodded immediately. There is indeed a big gap between him and Beerus now, which is undeniable. And at this moment, we seemed to notice something strange. Look at the halos above Son Goku and Vegeta's heads. Then he said to Beerus, Master Beerus, Son Goku, and Vegeta seem to have received special approval after they died, so they can return to the real world. Generally speaking, people who die will only have their souls left, but these guys in front of them still kept their bodies after they died. Moreover, he was able to return to the real world. Obviously, those guys in charge of the underworld opened the back door. This is not a good atmosphere. No matter what contribution they have made to the entire universe, they're dead when they die. Returning to the real world, this is already an illegal operation. Cut. It looks like those guys need to be taught a good lesson. But what I am most concerned about now is not these things, but the Super Saiyan God. Beerus curled his lips, though he'd love to teach those unruly guys a lesson now. But what he cares more about is Super Saiyan God. It took so long to come to Northern Galaxy, and he came here for this. Then staring at Vegeta and Son Goku, they asked, "Hey, you guys are all Saiyan. Have you ever heard of a guy called Super Saiyan God?" After Beerus' voice fell, Vegeta and Son Goku looked at each other. Obviously, they had never heard of the name. Super Saiyan God? What is that? Son Goku looked at Vegeta and asked, "How do I know? Can you keep your mouth shut?" Kakarot. Vegeta said again viciously. Kakarot is ABD. Even if he is stupid, he always likes to make trouble. If the Earth that this guy caused is destroyed, even if he returns to King Kai's planet, I will never spare him. Then Vegeta respectfully said to Beerus, "Master Beerus, I have never heard of the name Super Saiyan God. But what about Super Saiyan? We do know?" As the former Prince of Saiyan, he also knows the history of people quite well. "But I have never heard of the name Super Saiyan God." Cut. It seems that you don't know. So, it made me take a trip in vain. Looking at Son Goten and Vegeta, Beerus raised his eyebrows. It took half an hour to come to this remote planet, but I didn't expect to find nothing. It seems that there is no need for this planet to exist. After all, you have come here, and you have to leave some traces of your own visits. At this time, Son Goten frowned deeply. I wonder if a good fight with Beerus will make him give up the idea of destroying the Earth as in the original book. If you can, you may also be able to pick up Gods of Destruction's destruction skills. Lord Beerus, I told you that it was just an ordinary dream. What kind of Super Saiyan God doesn't exist in this universe at all? How about we go back? The ice cream at home won't taste good if it's been frozen for too long. Seeing Beerus, whose expression had changed, was spoke. Although the technology of this Earth is relatively backward, but now it seems that the level of human strength living on the Earth is still good. It is a star with a relatively high comprehensive level ball. If it is destroyed, the overall strength of the 7th universe is estimated to drop a little bit. Since I have come here, it is not in my style to go back like this. If you can't find Super Saiyan God, then destroy this backward planet. Beerus glanced at everyone, and then said indifferently, "It seems that destroying a planet and killing hundreds of millions of creatures is as simple as eating and drinking for him." And in fact, it is true. Every time Gods of Destruction destroys, hundreds of millions of creatures will disappear. When I heard that Beerus was going to destroy the Earth, everyone clenched their fists tightly. As warriors protecting the Earth, they will never allow anyone to destroy the Earth. No matter what kind of strong the opponent is, they will fight to the death. But Vegeta was even more frightened. It's even a little pale, because he knew that even if everyone joined forces, they couldn't be Gods of Destruction's opponent. That overwhelming sense of oppression cannot be fooled. Son Goten was also ready at this time. If Beerus is really going to destroy the Earth, then the only option is to fight him to the death. He is also a warrior of the Earth. His closest relatives live on this Earth. So even in the face of Gods of Destruction, he will never back down. And at this moment, Son Goku suddenly stepped forward. Then he looked up at Beerus with serious eyes and said, "Hey, although I haven't figured out who you are, and I don't know how strong you are, I will never allow any casual destruction of the Earth that we have desperately guarded." Piccolo and Kellen also stepped forward, looking at Beerus firmly. Even if the other party is a god, if they want to destroy the Earth, they will absolutely not allow it. Oh? A bunch of little bugs actually want to stop Gods of Destruction at 5.8? Beerus sneered. In fact, in his eyes, these guys in front of him can't even compare to a small bug. It can be completely smashed to death with just one hand. You all back down. There is indeed a big gap between your strength and his. At this moment, Son Goten walked up to Son Goku and the others, and then spoke. Their strength is indeed too weak. Perhaps Beerus would have killed them all, if not very hard. This senseless sacrifice is completely unnecessary. and he didn't want to let his companions be beaten in vain just to set off the aura of his protagonist. Since the difference in strength is too big, there is no need to play. Goten? Everyone's eyes immediately focused on Son Goten. Without any hesitation, they all took a few steps back, because they are very clear about Goten's strength. If Goten can't solve the gods of destruction in front of him, then it's useless for them to go up. Of course, Son Goku is also very clear about this truth, and it happens that through the battle between Goten and this Beerus, we can take a good look at how strong that Beerus is. After everyone retreated, Son Goten said to Beerus, "Master Beerus, the reason you are looking for Super Saiyan God is not to find someone who can be with you an opponent in a battle. Then, I'll accompany you." You? Beerus cast a contemptuous glance at Son Goten. Although this kid is very alert. But what strength can a child have? That's right. Anyway, it's here, so it won't hurt to try. Son Goten nodded firmly. 062 Beerus and Whis were shocked by the power of Chuanchao transformation. Subscription required. Don't get too overwhelmed, Scion Brat. It is undeniable that you do have the vigilance ability that others do not have. But do you think that you are qualified to be an opponent of gods of destruction? I came here this time to look for Super Saiyan God. I'm not interested in you little bugs. Beerus frowned slightly, and then said to Son Goten with a look of disdain. In his opinion, the little guy in front of him is just an ordinary person with a little more vigilance. It is simply impossible to compare with the rival in my dream. It is even more impossible to have the strength of 1/1000th of one's own. So for such an opponent, he really can't arouse any interest. Compared with fighting such boring people, she obviously prefers to enjoy the gorgeous fireworks born from the explosion of the planet. How would you know if you didn't try? Son Goten also said seriously, although right now, he really doesn't want to confront Beerus head-on. But if no one stands up to stop Beerus, then the Earth will hardly avoid the catastrophe. Perhaps throwing away his dignity might bring Beerus back. That is to overcome the weakness of Beerus through gourmet food. After all, this guy is a complete foodie, but such a thing he felt a little unable to do it. What's more, if you fight with Beerus, it is very likely that you will pick up his god skill and destroy it. So even if it is a risk, it seems to be worth it. Besides, if Beerus approves of his next performance, maybe he won't destroy the Earth. Just like Dragon Ball Super, a stinky brat who doesn't know how to live or die. It seems that you guys just can't understand the power of gods of destruction. But since you want to try it, I will wait a few seconds to fulfill your request. Beerus said indifferently at first, but in the end, he agreed to Son Goten's request. Anyway, it was only a few seconds. After a few seconds, the planet ceased to exist. Then, can you not hurt the innocent people on Earth before the battle is over? Son Goten pleaded. Once the two of them fight, it is very likely that the Earth will be destroyed in a moment. So he wants Whis to protect the safety of the Earth before the battle is over. Cut! What an annoyance. Whis! Beerus pouted, but finally took a look at Whis. The little guy in front of me is really brave, so agree to his request. Yes, Lord Beerus. Angel Whis also immediately understood what Beerus meant, and then nodded respectfully. The staff in his hand tapped the ground lightly, and the green energy instantly spread from his feet. In a short while, the green energy of the grass has covered every inch of the Earth. A layer of light green halo appeared on all the creatures on the Earth. For angels, this is a very easy thing in itself. Little devil, I don't even know why I agreed to your unreasonable request. However, if your strength can't make me a little interested, then I will destroy this planet without hesitation, including you. Beerus felt a little unbelievable that he would agree to the request of a little human. Maybe he still has a little bit of expectation for this kid in front of him, but he had better not let himself down. Otherwise, he would destroy all of them without hesitation. 3. Son Goten nodded. Goku, will my Goten be okay? Chi-Chi looked at Son Goten with a worried face, and then asked Son Goku. Although she can't feel how strong the cat person opposite is, but looking at the expressions of Goku and Vegeta, it can be judged that the guy is definitely a very difficult opponent. What's more, even Goten just said that he can't beat that cat man. This made Chi-Chi even more worried. Goku and Gohan are not really resurrected, and after more than 20 hours, they will return to their original place. Once again, only Goten was left. If something unexpected happens to Goten, then she really doesn't have the courage to live. Don't worry, Chi-Chi. If Goten is in danger at that time, we will rush to protect him without hesitation. Son Goku took Chi-Chi's hand and then spoke comfortingly. Of course, this is just consolation, because if even Goten is not the opponent of Beerus, they are even more incomparable. The only hope now is that Goten can defeat Beerus. Must win, Goten. Son Gohan prayed from the side. Little ghost, although your strength makes me feel very uncomfortable, but now use all your strength to defeat Beerus. Let him take a good look at Scion's bloodiness. Vegeta clenched his fists tightly, thinking secretly in his heart. Although he doesn't like Goten, that kid, very much, he doesn't like Beerus even more. Come on, Goten, you can do it. Kling is also cheering for Son Goten. At this moment, the bodies of Son Goten and Beerus rose into the air little by little. It was about 100 feet away from the ground, and the two of them stopped after they reached the same height. Afterwards, Beerus said indifferently, "Little devil, you Scion seem to be able to make some fancy transformations, right? Although it's useless, at least the strength seems to have increased. Hurry up and transform. Otherwise, you may not have a chance to fight with your strength." Through the information provided by Whis before, he has seen the transformation of Son Goku and Vegeta. That kind of gaudy blonde transformation. To be honest, he had never seen it before. I have never discovered that Scion can transform. The brat in front of him obviously has more power than Son Goku and Vegeta. Then he will definitely change too. Ah, you are absolutely right. In the face of gods of destruction, you really can't be careless. Son Goten nodded seriously. If it was someone else, maybe he wouldn't have used Super Saiyan's transformation in the first place. But now they are facing the ridiculously powerful gods of destruction, Beerus. This guy is the top existence among the gods of destruction of the 12 universes. Therefore, there must be no sloppy. The practice of preserving strength is obviously very stupid now. Then change quickly. Beerus gritted his teeth in boredom and then spoke lightly. In fact, he didn't have any illusions about the kid in front of him. To fight gods of destruction, he definitely doesn't have that qualification. And at this time in the Supreme Kai world, old Supreme Kai was already livid with fright, constantly wandering in the god realm. Idiots, they're all a bunch of idiots. I have reminded them so clearly just now. I didn't expect them to still fight Lord Beerus. Are those guys all idiots who don't know how much disaster this will bring to the universe? While wandering around, the old Supreme Kai was also yelling. Obviously, they have already reminded Son Goten and those guys in such detail before, but now they seem to have completely forgotten their reminders. To actually want to fight Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus is simply asking for death. What's more, their death may make Master Beerus even more angry. At that time, it will be a huge catastrophe for the entire universe. Hearing the old Supreme Kai's words, Supreme Kai Asin raised his eyebrows slightly. He felt that this matter had nothing to do with Goten and the others. It's that Lord Beerus is just too tyrannical. Want to destroy other people's planets at every turn? Faced with this situation, should Goten and the others remain indifferent and wait to be destroyed? Then he retorted, "My Lord Ancestor, I agree with all your previous statements and opinions. But I can't agree with you on this matter. I don't know how powerful Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus is, but now he threatens to destroy the Earth, which is the homeland that the Goten and the others rely on for survival. And it is also the hometown they have guarded for so long. For Goten, once the Earth is destroyed, all hope is lost. Under such circumstances, shouldn't we fight back? At least fighting might give them hope. It's better than sitting still and waiting to die." Supreme Kai Asin's tone is sonorous and forceful. This seemed to be the first time he had spoken to the ancestors so forcefully. But that's what he thought in his heart. In the face of such an extremely arrogant gods of destruction, we should fight back. No one wants to be a lamb to the slaughter. Not to mention Goten, who has super strength. Hearing this, the old Supreme Kai also showed a surprised expression on his face. Unexpectedly, Supreme Kai, who is usually docile like a lamb, is speaking so hard now. Although what he just said is true. For Son Goten and the others, Fighting back is the only way out. But from the perspective of Supreme Kai, his vision is too narrow, and the pattern is too small. Because once those guys anger Lord Beerus, it's not just Earth that will suffer. The entire northern galaxy, and even the entire universe will face a great catastrophe. That's all. It's already like this. Then he couldn't say anything. From the perspective of those mortals like Son Goten, what they did was indeed right. But what I just said is from the perspective of Supreme Kai. From the perspective of protecting the universe, his words are also completely correct. And this time on Earth, Son Goten suddenly clenched his fists. Huh! A deep roar came out of his throat instantly. At the same time, a powerful breath erupted from Son Goten's body instantly. An extremely powerful air wave swept away directly, and energy ripples visible to the naked eye appeared in the sky. Rustle grass green flames also instantly lingered around the body, like a green beam of light, piercing through the clouds and hitting the sky. At this time, Son Goten's aura has reached an unprecedented level of terror. Both Son Goku and Vegeta were shocked. Although Goten also transformed when facing Majin Buu and Xian Yinbo before. But the aura released by the transformation at that time was completely incomparable with the present. This means that Goten at that time still retained his own power. But facing the gods of destruction Beerus in front of him, he will go all out. Even Whis at the side couldn't help but glance at Son Goten after feeling the powerful power of 560. There was a little surprise on his face, although this aura is still incomparable to Master Beerus. But I have to say that it is already considered too strong. In the entire 7th universe, apart from myself and Lord Beerus, there is absolutely no aura stronger than this. Even Supreme Kai and the others are completely worthless in front of this kid in front of them. Is there such a powerful force hidden in such a small body? No wonder you were so confident just now. It seems that you really have some strength. I have to say, I underestimated this brat just now. Gods of Destruction Beerus also showed a look of surprise on his face. Before, he felt that he could defeat the little devil in front of him with just one finger. But the aura erupting now is unprecedentedly powerful. Among all the opponents I have faced before, except for gods of destruction from other universes, it seems that there is no existence that is stronger than this kid in front of me. Although the Super Saiyan God in the prophetic dream was not found. Of course, this brat in front of him seems to be a good opponent. At least it shouldn't be killed too quickly. Accompanied by continuous roars, the grass-green flames around Son Goten's body boiled like a raging sea. Right under everyone's gaze, Son Goten's hair color directly turned into grass green, and his pupils turned into gold. The battle suit on the upper body has been torn, and the upper body is bare, and the pieces of strong tendons seem to express the strength of the body. This is the legendary Super Saiyan form. Son Goten at the moment, and with full firepower, takes power to the extreme. The current him should be the full power form of Chuanchao Saiyan in the first stage. The power of this form is completely not comparable to that of the original Broly. After all, after being exploited by the Old World King, his basic combat power has reached a rather terrifying value. There is no doubt that the current him must have power beyond Super Saiyan God. Master Beerus, this is my power after transformation. Please teach me. After transforming into the legendary Super Saiyan form, Son Goten also immediately stabilized his excitement, and then said politely to Beerus, "Interesting, you are indeed much stronger than I imagined. It looks like the next battle shouldn't disappoint me too much." Beerus pursed his lips, and there was a little excitement on his face. After millions of years, it seems that today I can finally move my body well. 063 The abilities of Xian Yinbo and Majin Buu. Everyone was dumbfounded, subscription required. It seems that this kid in front of him is really a surprise. I had no illusions about him at first. But now it seems that the strength of this brat is far beyond his imagination. Although he still can't become his real opponent, he should be fully equipped with the ability to help him warm up. Come on, Master Beerus. Son Goten said to Beerus without any extra nonsense. Cut, little devil. You should take the initiative to attack. Beerus snorted coldly and waved towards Son Goten. Although the strength of this kid surprised him, but at this level, there was no way for him to take the initiative. Whoosh! Son Goten didn't say a word. He just flashed his body and rushed towards Beerus quickly. The speed is very fast, and it goes directly to Beerus in an instant. Then he punched out with all his might. Beerus just stretched out his right palm lightly, and the moment the fists collided, he easily caught Son Goten's attack. Terrifying shock waves and air waves also spread in all directions in an instant. A huge sonic boom circle also appears. If the Earth was not protected by Whis' superpower at this time, it is estimated that the energy shock waves just now could directly destroy the entire Earth. What? To catch Goten's punch so easily? Both Son Goku and Piccolo were incomparably shocked, because they could feel the power of Goten's punch just now. If this punch landed on them, their bodies would probably explode in an instant. But Beerus caught it easily, and his face didn't change at all. This also made them realize more clearly that gods of destruction Beerus does possess super strength. Not just lip service. Boom, boom, boom. After one punch failed to achieve results, Son Goten did not feel any loss, but continued to blast countless punches. One after another sonic boom circles keep appearing, and the whole Earth keeps shaking. Fortunately, even such a powerful shock wave did not cause any damage to the Earth. From this, we can also guess how strong Whis is. Whoa! Are these all the delicacies of the Earth? They look so delicate, and I have never seen them on other planets. I don't know how it tastes. May I have a taste, please? At this time, Whis also discovered all kinds of delicacies on the luxury cruise ship. Then he said intently, "This guy's manners are still very good." When, of course, the chef at the food stall was almost taken aback by fright, so he nodded immediately at this time. The cat person who was fighting has incomparably powerful strength, and this guy in front of him is actually with him, so he must not be underestimated. This kind of superficial truth is completely understandable even for an ordinary chef. At this time, Bulma also found Whis not far away. Is that guy really a god? Looking at his eyes, why does he look more like a foodie? Bulma thought suspiciously. If the guy named Whis is a foodie, wouldn't that Beerus be as well? If both of them are foodies, maybe this crisis is a turning point after Goten's failure. But at this time in the sky, Son Goten and Beerus have already fought fiercely together. Boom! The muffled crash and sonic boom rang out incessantly. So the speed of the two of them is already so fast that humans can't keep up at all. They can only determine their location by judging Goten's breath and the constant sonic boom circle. Boom! At this moment, Beerus directly punched Son Goten in the chest, and Son Goten's body, after bearing such a heavy blow, also directly flew upside down for a distance of several hundred feet. There's also a burst of chest tightness and shortness of breath. Although he didn't use his full strength, the punch of Beerus was quite terrifying. Oops! Goten got hit. Is that guy really so scary? When everyone saw Son Goten, who was punch flying, their expressions became even uglier. You must know that Son Goten at this time has reached a level that they cannot understand. But even so, it seems that there is still a very big gap between gods of destruction Beerus. But Son Goten isn't worried. The pain in his chest probably made him have no intention of retreating. On the contrary, this pain is constantly stimulating the cells in his body. Under the stimulation of pain, every cell in the body seemed to become active, even boiling. This is the power of the legendary Super Saiyan bloodline. Pain can better excite the body. Son Goten raised his head, with the same excitement in his eyes. His state at this time seems to be somewhat similar to Vegeta, who has realized his self-consciousness in the comics of the second season of Dragon Ball Super. It seems that the pain and injury suffered will become nutrients and stimulants, constantly stimulate the cells in the body, so as to continuously become stronger. After thinking this, Son Goten rushed out again. It's really a tenacious brat, and his body is also incredibly strong. The fist just now didn't hurt him. Beerus was surprised again, but this is more fun. If this guy is instantly killed by himself, then this game is too boring. Son Goten roared, and it was also a straight punch without any fancy. Beerus extended his right palm again to block. But at that moment, Sun Wufu's body completely disappeared. At the moment of the attack just now, he directly used instant transmission. Nanny, Beerus' face changed. Apparently, he didn't expect Son Goten to be so fast. He was clearly still in front of him just now, and his breath was so clear. But at the moment of the attack, it completely disappeared. Boom! Just as he was still immersed in surprise, a pain came from his back. The moment the collision sounded, Beerus' body also flew forward several tens of feet. There was a burning pain in his entire back. Damn it, damn brat. Unexpectedly, the dignified gods of destruction was hit by this guy, and Beerus' expression changed instantly. If you have been playing games just now is the real battle. Little ghost, feel this well. The moment the eyebrows were stretched, Beerus raised his right index finger, and a huge light yellow energy ball instantly condensed from the fingertips. In an instant, the energy ball swelled to the size of 2 football fields. It also contains the might of destroying heaven and earth. Everyone looked nervously at the huge energy ball, because they can clearly feel that the ability contained in that energy ball can completely destroy the entire galaxy. But Son Goten's expression didn't change at all. This kind of energy attack, except for the destructive energy of gods of destruction, he doesn't care too much at all. And now, he has more than just the legendary Super Saiyan blood. If you choose to avoid this energy ball, the earth under your feet will be completely destroyed. Even the energy of Whis just now, it's impossible to stop it at all. If you don't dodge, I have full confidence that you will die by your minister. Beerus raised the corner of his mouth, revealing a piercing smile. This choice is undoubtedly very difficult for anyone to make a decision. How should I choose between my own life and death and the fate of the entire planet? Son Goten remained calm, his expression unchanged. If you use your body to carry this huge energy ball, it will be really difficult to hit it down, and even if it is carried down in the end, it will consume a lot of physical energy. Make a good decision, kid. After Beerus' indifferent laughter fell, the energy ball in his hand also slowly fell. He wants to witness Son Goten's selection a little bit. Little by little, I saw the panic and despair on his face. It's over. It's over. It's hard for Goten to catch that energy ball. If he dodged, the earth would disappear in an instant. If you force it to continue, even if you survive by chance, you will definitely be seriously injured. Both Son Goku and Piccolo's complexions were instantly dimmed. There is a deep guilt in my heart. Unexpectedly, just after they returned to the earth ushered in such a huge crisis. If they stayed in the underworld, perhaps such a thing would not have happened. Are all the disasters on the earth really accompanied by them? In fact, this is also the reason why Son Goku and the others have refused to be resurrected before. Because they have always existed on the earth, so the earth crisis continues. Therefore, after being killed by Cell, they chose to let nature take its course and were unwilling to be resurrected again. In fact, they want to better protect the earth. For one thing, if they continue to be resurrected, Cell will definitely return to Earth immediately. If they can't deal with Cell at that time, the Earth may be destroyed. Second, as Bulma said before, it seems that all enemies are directed at words. If Goku and the others were dead, maybe there wouldn't be so many villains on Earth. Don't be so depressed, everyone. Although that energy ball is indeed so powerful, it's unbelievable. It is fully capable of destroying the entire galaxy in an instant. But didn't you realize that there is no trace of tension in the part? He is still so confident and calm. Seeing the sad faces on everyone's faces, Kellen also spoke immediately. Maybe it's because he has been in contact with Goten for a long time, and every time Goten can bring him surprises and surprises. So he feels that this time, Goten is definitely capable of handling it. Although the speed of the energy ball is not very fast. But in a moment, he had already arrived in front of Son Goten. Then let you see the ability of Xian Yinbua. Seeing the energy ball that was already close at hand, Son Goten launched it with both hands. A huge dimensional black hole, like a mirror, appeared in front of Son Goten. And the moment the dimensional black hole appeared, Beerus's energy ball was directly absorbed into it, then disappeared without a trace. There are no ripples and fluctuations. What? What the hell kind of move is that? Seeing the scene in front of him, Beerus felt like hell. How could a human being do such a thing? Let your energy ball evaporate out of thin air. At this time, even Whis, who was enjoying the delicious sushi, changed slightly, then immediately looked at Son Goten. Oh, it looks a bit like something similar to space ability. This is a curious little guy. The ability just now is very likely related to some kind of spatial ability. Otherwise, it would be impossible to completely disappear Master Beerus' attack in an instant. This kid is indeed very unusual. That ability, it seems to be very similar to Xian Yinbu's ability. Have you seen it? At this time, Son Goku suddenly found that the ability that Goten used just now was very similar to that of Xian Yinbu. In an instant, the opponent's energy wave completely disappears. That kid. What are you kidding? Vegeta noticed it too. I always feel that this guy is really outrageous. After fighting Broly before, his transformation form seems to have completely changed. After the last battle with Xian Yinbu, although he has the ability similar to Xian Yinbu, could it be said that this little ghost can quickly learn the abilities of others in the process of fighting with others? If that's the case, isn't it too scary? Just when everyone was extremely surprised, in front of Beerus, the mirror-dimensional black hole just appeared suddenly. The light yellow light is released from the black hole. Almost in the blink of an eye, the huge energy ball was sent to Beerus again. Nanny, Beerus was also completely shocked. Just now I thought that his energy ball was disappeared by that kid with some mysterious ability, and now it's back to him. You must know that even their gods of destruction didn't have this ability. It seems that this kid is indeed qualified to be confident. But shock is shock. Whether the energy wave comes out by oneself will not harm oneself. With a light touch of Beerus' palm, the huge ball of energy began to dissipate quickly. In just 0.01 second, the huge energy ball disappeared completely. Little ghost, you really have a lot of fancy moves. The scene just now made me feel a little surprised. Of Lee's. But I have to tell you seriously, these fancy abilities can never defeat gods of destruction, nor can they become your umbrella. When Beerus' voice fell, a purple aura began to emerge around his body. Obviously, he intends to be serious. Whoosh! No one saw Beerus clearly. In an instant, he was in front of Son Goten. Then he punched out. Son Goten didn't even have time to use the dimensional black hole and was directly punched in the lower abdomen by Beerus. Bang, bang, bang. Another combination of punches several times in a row. Every time a fist lands on Son Goten's body, it dents his body directly. Boom! Another heavy punch was swung out. Son Goten's chest collapsed in an instant. The body was even punched heavily by Beerus on the deck of the luxury cruise ship. At this time, Son Goten looked extremely embarrassed. His body was covered with clear fist marks one after another. It can be said that there is no good place in the upper body. Whoa, Son Goten. Everyone hurried over with concern. With such a serious injury, he almost completely lost his combat effectiveness. If the fairy beans are not used in time, it is estimated that life will be in danger. But at this moment, Son Goten stood up again. His face was still very calm. Although Beerus' attack just now was really strong, and every time a punch falls on the body, you will feel pain. But with Majin Buu's super regeneration ability, this kind of injury is nothing at all. Son Goten shook his body slightly, and the fist marks on his body disappeared immediately. Totally in mint condition. And after seeing this scene, everyone was dumbfounded again. Just suffered such a serious injury. It is no exaggeration to say that the upper body has been completely deformed. But Goten healed in an instant. It's like plasticine. It's so creepy, he's amazing. 064 exploded. The legendary Super Saiyan 2 subscribed. K. Kling, do you know what's going on? Since when did Goten have such a strong recovery ability? Son Goku blinked his eyes, obviously surprised. You must know that Saiyan has no recovery ability. Moreover, it was simply impossible for him to heal himself after suffering such a severe injury just now. But Goten recovered in an instant, and he felt the same as before. This is indeed a bit too amazing. Goten is obviously Scion's blood, but why does he have such a strange move? Moreover, they often observed Goten in the underworld before, and did not find that he had this special ability. I don't know either. Goten has never used this ability before, but he can help others heal injuries. Kellen also shook his head with a puzzled expression, and then immediately said to Son Goku, "When I was fighting Xian Yinbo before, I was almost killed by that guy." And Goten fully recovered from his injuries in just 1 second. He also felt very strange at that time, because Scion does not have the ability to heal. And that ability, Goten hadn't used before. Kakarot, Son Goten, that brat is simply different. It's completely different from our Scion. The ability he possesses now is completely different from ours. Vegeta immediately said to Son Goku, whether it's the transformation of the green hair or the rapid recovery now, this ability is absolutely impossible for Scion to master. Of course, he thinks so, and it has a lot to do with Vegeta's shallow knowledge. Whoa! This kid really surprises people again and again. First, he mastered the ability similar to the power of space, and now he has displayed this powerful recovery ability. If he is cultivated, he may be the best candidate for the next gods of destruction. Whis also looked at Son Goten in surprise, and then said secretly in his heart, "To be honest, in the entire 7th universe, there don't seem to be many powerful humans." Hundreds of years ago, the talent shown by the Frisia family can be said to be very outstanding, beyond most races in the universe. So Master Beerus also seems to intend to make Frisia the next gods of destruction. If you pass the assessment, you will most likely become a candidate for gods of destruction. 157. Unfortunately, the big guy was killed by Son Goku, and the Scion race, which was completely inconspicuous before, seems to be showing signs of rising now. Leaving aside Son Goku and Vegeta, they both have power beyond Frisia. And now the Son Goten in front of him is not comparable to Frisia in strength. This kid was able to cultivate his strength to this level in just a few years. If he becomes the gods of destruction of the 7th universe in the future, he may be able to inherit the mantle of Lord Beerus as the most powerful gods of destruction. And at this moment, Beerus looked straight. Unexpectedly, the stormy attack just now not only failed to kill that Shao Wei. Now he has recovered easily. This really surprised him, but also excited him a bit. If it is so easy to get rid of this guy, then the matter is too simple. Fortunately, this kid can really bring people unexpected surprises. But even though he thought so in his heart, he said on his mouth, "Little ghost, you really have a lot of tricks in this kind of flower, but I'd like to know if you'll be able to recover all the damage." With the sound falling, Beerus rushed to Son Goten again. This time, he obviously increased his strength a bit. The moment the body flashed out, it was already in front of Son Goten. Then without further ado, Diary hit Son Goten with a heavy uppercut in the stomach. Wow! A mouthful of sour water spewed directly from Son Goten's mouth. The body was thrown into the air directly. Whoosh! Beerus disappeared again. Son Goten forcibly stabilized his body, and the moment he turned his head, he saw Beerus's cat face. At this time, there was an evil smile on his face, and he had already clasped his hands and waited quietly. The moment Son Goten stabilized his body, his clenched fists slammed down heavily. Boom! Rumble! Another loud bang made the luxury cruise ship tremble. The surface of the sea stirred up huge waves. If it weren't for Whis energy protection, it is estimated that this blow would be able to smash through the earth. This time, Beerus didn't choose to attack with energy. Instead, the body swooped down, and the fists were like machine guns, constantly outputting to Son Goten. Boom, boom, boom. Punch after punch, precise, BGFJ, on Son Goten's face and body. The newly recovered body also showed clear fist marks again, although he was in great pain at this time. But he can feel that these pains are turning into his history little by little. Although he picked up Majin Buu's super regeneration ability before, he can also feel pain. Of course, a living person is one who has flesh and blood and can feel pain. If you lose even the sense of pain, you are not a real human being. Look at Son Goten, who has been completely deformed. Beerus raised his fist high again, his head filled with purple flames. Boom! With a heavy punch, Son Goten's body split apart like a watermelon. Seeing this scene, everyone gasped in fright. As for Chi-Chi, Bulma, and Videl, this is a direct scream the Catman in front of him was too cruel. It actually blew up Goten's body. Cut! Damn! UBD. Absolutely unforgivable. Seeing his own son being punched by Beerus, Son Goku couldn't contain the anger in his heart anymore. With a roar, it directly changed into the form of Super Saiyan 3. Son Gohan followed suit and became Super Saiyan directly. Then Piccolo, Kellen, and Majin Buu all raised their aura to the extreme. Whizzing, at the same time, rushed to Gods of Destruction Beerus. Cut! A bunch of bugs. Beerus snorted softly. Obviously, he didn't pay attention to guys like Son Goku at all, although each of them can be regarded as the best among human beings, possessing impressive strength. But in front of Gods of Destruction, it is definitely not worth mentioning. And compared to Son Goten just now, he has no interest in these people at all. After the indifferent voice fell, the toes lightly tapped the ground. With these guys, he simply didn't bother to make a move. The moment the toes tapped the ground, a purple halo instantly spread out to the surroundings. Son Goku and the others rushed over just now, at the moment when they saw the purple energy. The body was directly thrown out. Then they fell heavily on the ground, and Piccolo and Son Gohan spurted a mouthful of blood directly from their mouths, instantly losing their fighting power. Even the peak combat power of Super Saiyan 3 is so vulnerable in front of Gods of Destruction Beerus. Damn! That guy's strength is beyond our imagination. We can't stop him at all, Son Goku said with extremely serious eyes. Just stomping their feet directly made them lose their combat effectiveness. If that guy wants to kill them, maybe he could do it in an instant. Under such a huge gap, let alone revenge, the entire Earth is estimated to be destroyed now. And after Beerus easily defeated Son Goku and the others, then he looked at the place where Son Goten exploded just now. Because he knew that nothing happened to the kid just now. Because his aura has not weakened in the slightest. It seems that this guy's recovery ability has far exceeded his imagination. Being punched by myself, the breath didn't weaken in any way, just when all the soldiers were at a loss. Son Goten, who was blown up just now, began to recover a little bit. In a moment, it became the appearance of Son Goten. This scene once again frightened everyone in front of them. Can you still recover from being blown up by a punch? Then, what's going on? Goten is not dead. He is alive again. Is this really Goten? Isn't it amazing? Videl looked in disbelief at Son Goten, who had regained his body, and moaned in a low voice. Although some time ago, she knew that Son Goten was very strong. But at this level of strength, even the body can be recovered from being smashed into scum. For him, this is indeed completely unbelievable. In her father's words, this must be a deceiving trick. Goten's all right. Great, my Goten wasn't killed. Chi-Chi was extremely excited. Of course, in addition to being shocked, everyone was also relieved of the hanging heart just now. That boy Goten knows how to scare us. Kellen took a long breath and said, apparently, he was more worried about Goten being killed than anyone, because in that case, he would really be the only warrior left on Earth. At that time, if there is another crisis on the Earth, no one can help him, and with his strength, it may not be able to solve it. The power is constantly expanding. It's so strong, it feels like my body is going to explode. In the face of everyone's shock and excitement, Son Goten seemed to be deaf to the shock and excitement at this time. Whispering to himself, it was as if he was completely in his own space now, completely cut off all outside sounds. A vast force is constantly forming in the body, and then surges crazily. The whole body is like a huge spring. Tao Tao's endless energy is constantly spreading to the body. That feeling, as if the energy is so powerful that it wants to explode your body. It seems that the pain he suffered just now has begun to slowly transform into Li Huang. This is the power of the legendary Super Saiyan. I can't control it anymore. My strength is about to overflow. A murmur came from Son Goten's throat. This is Son Goten's expression is a bit dull. It was as if he had completely forgotten that there was a mighty gods of destruction Beerus in front of him. Oh! An extremely powerful force suddenly appeared in that kid's body. And this power is still expanding rapidly. What's going on? What kind of secret is hidden in this kid's body? Whis is even more surprised now. I didn't expect that Son Goten's strength not only didn't weaken after being beaten by Master Beerus, and the energy in the body is rising sharply. He could feel that Son Goten himself was having a hard time suppressing this force. This is just a scion who claims to be a fighting nation, and it's still a mixed-race scion. How could it be possible to have such a powerful force? It's interesting, is the strength still rising? After feeling the surging power in Son Goten's body, Beerus didn't stop it immediately. No fear or worry of any kind. On the contrary, the excitement on his face became more intense. Because the stronger Son Goten becomes in front of him, the more he can experience a hearty battle. It was something he had dreamed of for millions of years. It's going to explode. Huh? At this moment, Son Goten's beast-like roar was released from his throat. At the same time, he also completely released the powerful force in his body. A powerful air wave is generated around the body. The grass-green energy beam of tens of meters in diameter also pierced the sky in an instant. At this time, the entire sky turned into a piece of grass green, and the dark clouds continuously circled the green beam of light. In the next second, streaks of golden lightning passed through the dark clouds and flickered in the sky, and the crackling lightning is getting stronger and stronger. At this moment, the whole earth feels like it's the end of the world. Son Goten's grass-green hair stood tall, and golden arcs also appeared around his body. Those electric arcs are like little snakes reappearing. The airwaves are constantly spreading. Son Goku and the others quickly put their hands in front of them to block. And Son Goten's rapidly expanding breath. And then they were a little speechless in surprise. The previous Goten has already made them feel extremely outrageous. But now, the word outrageous is hard to describe the shock that Goten caused in their hearts. Could it be? Is this the transformation of Goten's Super Saiyan 2? At this moment, Son Gohan said to everyone in a shocked tone, "Look at the tall green hair and the golden lightning around the body. This is somewhat similar to when I became Super Saiyan 2. There is a qualitative gap between the color of the hair and the color of the lightning, as well as the strength of the two of them after transformation. It's really similar. It looks like Goten's bloodline has undergone some kind of mutation. In any case, Goten's strength has become stronger, and the Earth is safer." Piccolo added hastily. The current Goten should be able to fight Beerus. 065 100% Beerus. Ultra Instinct. This form can indeed be called the second level of the legendary Super Saiyan. In short, the legendary Super Saiyan 2. After transforming into this form, the huge energy in the body can be released, and the body is more powerful than the previous transformation, fully capable of carrying these energies. Is this what it feels like after a breakthrough? Full of strength. Son Goten clenched his fist lightly, and the strength in his body was continuously concentrated towards the fist. I have to say, this feeling is really cool. It seems that fighting Beerus is a very good thing, and you can actually improve your own strength through fighting. Now the strength has been improved qualitatively dash. Clap, clap. At this moment, gods of destruction Beerus also clapped their hands. Not bad. You actually made a breakthrough by fighting with me. I am surprised by the power you have now. To be honest, you are the first human being who made me feel excited in tens of millions of years. Maybe it's true as you said. I don't need to look for that Super Saiyan god now, Beerus said to Son Goten with a smile on his lips. If the previous Son Goten hadn't whetted his appetite to fight, then the Son Goten in front of him was indeed regarded as a good opponent by him. Because this guy's current strength is indeed very powerful. Even if you look at the 12 universes, the number of human beings who can reach this level is definitely no more than 5 fingers. At this time, the violent energy in Son Goten's body subsided little by little. Then he looked at Beerus and said, "Master Beerus, maybe now is the time for the real battle to begin. Please advise." This huge power naturally made him full of confidence. Because this kind of improvement is really too big. Even he himself didn't know how many times this form was stronger than before. Of course, you can be sure if you have reached the strength of the Super Saiyan God before. So now, it is definitely not weaker than the Super Blue Son Goku with Kaioken turned on 20 times. In a short period of time, the strength has improved so terrifyingly. This is the benefit of blood. If you continue to fight, maybe there will be a breakthrough. The moment the voice fell, Son Goten's body also appeared in a flash. Everyone saw only a flash of green lightning. Now, apart from Beerus and Whis, no one can see Son Goten clearly. Even a brief afterimage cannot be seen clearly. If it weren't for the grass-green arrogance surrounding their bodies, they probably wouldn't be able to see anything. After all, the gap between Son Goten and all fighters has been completely drawn, and it's absolutely worlds apart. Almost in the blink of an eye, Son Goten appeared directly in front of Beerus. One is that there are no fancy punches thrown. Beerus repeated his old trick, blocking with his right hand. Boom! The moment the fists collided, it was obvious that Beerus could not block it so easily this time. The body was directly blasted out by Son Goten's punch. Swish! Beerus' body flew upside down for a distance of several thousand feet before he stood up firmly. At this moment, he felt a tingling sensation in his entire arm. Are you kidding me? Is this brat's strength so terrifying? Feeling the numbness from his arm, Beerus also frowned instantly. Just when he was surprised, Son Goten's body flashed away again, appeared above Beerus' head. He clasped his hands and smashed down heavily. Seeing this, Beerus hurried to one side, insisting on dodging Son Goten's attack. Then the whip leg was raised, kicked directly in the chest of Son Goten. With a low impact, Son Goten was kicked away. The purple energy arrogance around Beerus' body also surged instantly. Whoosh whoosh, bang bang bang. The bodies of the two instantly turned into two rays of light, colliding continuously. Once again, sonic boom circles appeared one after another in the sky. This time it was obvious that both of them were very fast. Hey! The speed and strength have reached such a terrifying level. If it is further improved, it may be able to reach the level of other gods of destruction. Even I have never seen such an exaggerated human being. Whis also watched the battle between the two intently at this time and commented, Master Beerus is the top existence among the 12 universes. The strength of each universe gods of destruction is different, and this difference is relatively large. The gods of destruction of some universes are actually not particularly strong, and if Son Goten continues to improve, it is very likely to reach the level of those weaker gods of destruction. Bang bang bang. Son Goten and Beerus are still fist-bumping. The clouds in the sky have been completely torn apart. Rumble! A series of huge purple lightning is like a tornado, constantly attacking the earth. Without the energy of Whis, it is estimated that just one blow can sink a planet. Son Goten played harder and harder, and he felt a steady flow of physical energy and strength flowing from his body. Scion's transformation did not become a burden for him, nor did it consume too much physical energy. Instead, more and more physical energy and strength are bred in the body. Perhaps this is the difference between the legendary Super Saiyan and the normal Saiyan. If it was an ordinary Saiyan, he would probably be a little exhausted after fighting with all his strength for such a long time. Boom! The two punched each other again. The bodies of Son Goten and Beerus retreated tens of feet each. Then the place where their fists collided just now seemed to become a piece of space, and the blue and golden arcs were constantly wriggling like little snakes. Gods of Destruction Beerus was panting heavily. It was obvious that the battle just now had caused some problems in his physical fitness. After all, his only hobbies are sleeping and eating. For training, I don't care much at all. Especially for him who has the power of the 7th universe's rules. He doesn't need training at all, because in his opinion, he will always be the most powerful existence in the 7th universe. It is absolutely impossible for any human being to surpass him. Therefore, the long-term eating and sleepiness coupled with such intense fighting and consumption also caused some problems in his physical fitness at this moment. As for Son Goten, he seems to be in a state of extreme excitement at the moment. A steady stream of power in the body is constantly gushing out. Giggle. This BD, the strength has actually reached this level. To have 1/10 of my strength is indeed pretty good. Beerus secretly exclaimed in his heart. In fact, he never used all his strength from beginning to end. Because once he uses all his strength, Son Goten in front of him probably won't be able to hold on to a move. The power of gods of destruction is definitely not comparable to that of a human being. The reason why he didn't resolve the battle quickly was because he hadn't experienced the fun of fighting for a long time. Finally had a good experience today, but with the decline in strength, he felt that it was time for this battle to end. But at this moment, Beerus has absolutely no intention of killing Son Goten. In the entire 7th universe, humans who can possess nearly 10% of their own power have never appeared. If you kill the kid in front of you, it will be a little troublesome if you want to fight in the future. Maybe Son Goten can be a very good opponent if he develops well. At least the daily sparring should not be too lonely. Then this battle can end, Beerus said lightly. After hearing this, Son Goten's face sank slightly, because he knew very well that in the battle just now, Beerus didn't use his full strength at all. Even if he possesses the power beyond Shaolin, or even Deep Blue, it is absolutely impossible to be the opponent of gods of destruction at full strength. He still has the strength to kill himself with one blow. What's more, fighting Beerus for so long, the electronic synthesis sound of the system did not sound. That means he didn't pick up any gods of destruction abilities. In the battle with Beerus, his greatest wish is to pick up the destruction of gods of destruction. If he can't find it, gods of destruction will always be a dream in his heart because of the power of rules in a universe. It can destroy itself at any time. What's more, Beerus' own strength is much stronger than himself. Boy, next, I will show you what the true power of gods of destruction is. I will fight you with 100% strength. After getting ready, Beerus smiled and said to Son Goten, "What? It means that gods of destruction Beerus didn't show his true strength in the fierce battle just now. Are you kidding? Goten's strength has obviously become so powerful." After hearing what Beerus said, everyone was terrified again. Although they already think Beerus is very powerful, but now it seems that their guess is still not bold enough. I said long ago that the gods of destruction Beerus will not be defeated. Either us or Son Goten. The end result is all the same, Vegeta said in a daze. At this time, Vegeta's face is full of fear. Where is the half-arrogance of the past? Giggle, seeing everyone's appearance. Whis also covered his mouth with his hands and laughed. Then he said to everyone, "Master Beerus is the most powerful god in this universe. His strength is beyond your imagination. But having said that, that kid named Son Goten is also very powerful. He can actually have 1/10 of Lord Beerus' strength. This is something that hasn't happened in tens of millions of years. In fact, he has already decided in his heart that he wants to train Son Goten to be the next gods of destruction candidate. 10/10. Isn't there no chance of winning?" As for Flowers, however, after hearing Whis' words, everyone's complexion became even worse. Will the Earth really be destroyed today? A tenfold gap. No matter how strong Goten's money is, it is estimated that it will be difficult to make up for it. What's more, that gods of destruction Beerus seems to be going for real. I don't want to give Goten the opportunity to continue to grow at all. Come on, Beerus big people. Being able to feel 100% of the power of the strongest gods of destruction, maybe this is also a good trustworthiness, Son Goten said with a firm gaze. Didn't pick up all the abilities of gods of destruction Beerus just now. Maybe it's just because Beerus has always been playful and didn't fight with all his strength. If he showed all his strength, he might be able to pick up his skills. Because every time they picked up other people's blood or skills before, they basically showed their full strength. Or pick it up after being completely defeated by yourself. As for Beerus on the opposite side, a little bit of purple aura rose around his body. At this time, His eyes became very serious. Although no one could feel the breath of Beerus, an overwhelming sense of oppression hit the soul instantly. That strong sense of oppression made it impossible for everyone to even have the determination to resist. Even Son Goten is under tremendous pressure. Cut! Let's fight! The legendary Super Saiyan will never be afraid of battle. Son Goten clenched his fist and muttered to himself. There's a green flame on the fist. Swish! Son Goten's body flashed out again. Ah! With a roar, his strength was instantly raised to the extreme. Beerus was fully fired, so he naturally didn't have any qualifications to keep. Snort! Another mindless attack. Beerus said coldly. This guy has used the same straight punch attack 3 times. After saying something disdainfully, Beerus punched out directly. Poof! In the next second, Beerus' fist directly penetrated Son Goten's body. However, there was no resistance at all. Afterimage, Beerus' face suddenly changed. Unexpectedly, he just satirized Son Goten, but found that he seemed to be fooled. Looking up, I saw Goten's figure densely packed around me. This ability is similar to Tianjin Fan's 4-body fist, but it is obviously more perfect than when Tianjin Fan is displayed. And there are hundreds of afterimages in the sky. This ability, Majin Buu's regeneration, can completely do it. Moreover, after fusion cells and mastering Tianyufan's 4-body fist, his understanding is more thorough. Kamehameha Wave, Ultimate Flash, Qiyuan/10 Blades. Luo Guangguang kills the cannon. New Kigon Cannon. In an instant, the hundreds of Son Goten on top of Beerus used different skills. All kinds of ki blasts also appeared in the sky for a while. Aim straight for Beerus, although such an attack would certainly not be able to do damage to Beerus. But while he evades these attacks, he will definitely reveal gaps. Then is the perfect opportunity to launch an attack. How is this possible? Goten has mastered all of our tricks? At this time, everyone looked at Ki Blast, who was full of bells and whistles, and was very surprised. Unexpectedly, Goten has mastered all of their tricks. What's more, this move works perfectly in Goten's hands. Accompanied by a roar from Son Goten. All the ki blasts greeted Beerus. Beerus stood there motionless, not even looking back at all. The body only moves in a small range to avoid all ki blasts. Good chance Son Goten suddenly discovered Beerus' real body. Then an instant transmission appeared directly behind Beerus' body. All the energy in the body is concentrated on Yuquan, and he punches out directly. If this punch hits Beerus, he probably won't feel well even with all his strength. Just the moment Son Goten raised his fist, Beerus turned around suddenly, surprisingly fast. There was a devilish smile on his face. Heck, smelly brat. Although he wants to sneak attack me with such an insidious move. But what you think is too simple. The moment the words fell, Beerus' right knee directly pressed against Son Goten's chest like lightning. Boom! Wow! The moment the collision sounded, blood spurted out from his mouth directly. Son Goten's body also flew upside down. The blood drew a brilliant arc in the sky. This guy uses Ultra Instinct. The moment he flew upside down, Son Goten also realized that Beerus must have used the Ultra Instinct just now. 066 Ultra Instinct Mega. Beerus is completely shocked. Subscription required. Otherwise, it will be difficult to precisely avoid all ki blasts. And for Beerus, who is going all out, there is no need to dodge those harmless attacks. The only possibility is that this guy turned on Ultra Instinct and then dodged subconsciously. XOJ, I used all my strength and turned on the Ultra Instinct. While Son Goten's body was falling rapidly, Beerus turned into a purple light beam again and caught up with Son Goten in an instant. Then he grabbed Son Goten's head directly and pressed it down heavily. Rumble! The moment Son Goten's body touched the ground, the whole earth shook violently. Click! There was a crisp glass shattering sound. Immediately afterwards, where Son Goten was lying, the condensed energy barrier of Whis began to crack rapidly. Moreover, this spot—
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. R18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.